Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for another round of games here in season 2 of the Do It Big Invitational. Triple header tonight. Uh, gonna be lit. So our first game is gonna start very, very shortly between Hapuuma Matata and the Stragglers. uh, should have a lot of implications in the standings as well. So as we take a look here, team or Hapoon Matata, excuse me, at 5-4 right now. If they win here, can vault themselves all the way up to a tie for third place slash second place with Chile's Angels. Meanwhile, for Team Strag, currently sitting at 2-5, but with 4 games this weekend, can really vault themselves back into playoff contention with several wins. So this game going to do a lot for either team in terms of their playoff outlook as we slowly draw to the conclusion of the regular season. Just a reminder that every team is still in contention, but Strag and Don't Worry We Scale are at the bottom of the standings here. Strag at 2-5. Don't Worry We Scale at 1-7. Need to start picking up some wins quickly if they are to stay within punching distance of that playoff spot. So, will be interesting to see what the outcomes of the games are tonight. We already have the lobby set up here between Hapuuma Matata and Strag. So, as you guys already know, we're going to get some interviews. It's going to be the classic uh, Strag interview that we've come to love over the course of season 2. It will be interesting to see here whom Hapuuma Matata decide to send up to counter the energy that is Kevin. All right. So give me a second here to set things up. I'm gonna go to my dashboard. Okay. And we are good to go more or less. So without further ado, here is the lobby. And let's see who they send up tonight. I'm also going to be curious to see who decides to join me on the cast for tonight. I honestly have zero idea. Hopefully Chungus is hanging around. We can get him in here soon. Hello, Kevin.
Hello, Roger.
All right. So, as always, we are joined here by the effervescent Kevin.
That's an SAT word right there, ladies and gents.
True. Got that big energy. Can't nothing get you down.
Nothing in this world, Roger, and you know it.
Indeed. Oh, okay. Looks like we're gonna have a meeting of the captains here. So Poom is gonna represent Hapuuma Matata. So, hello to Hapoom and Kevin joining me here on the pre-game interview desk. Uh, as the Blue Side team, Hapoom, you will get the first question. So, it's a big potential game for you guys. Also represents a opportunity to exact some revenge on Team Strag. Your team was one of Team Strag's 2 wins in the first round robin. So, what is your team going to do tonight to make sure that history does not repeat itself?
I don't think we do anything specific, but just I don't know. I think I guess Strax getting only one win this season.
They're at 2.
No,
Oh,
like
oh,
don't kid
oh,
yourself. Do
oh,
not kid yourself
over
here.
you guys. Gotcha, gotcha. So yeah, just don't do anything special, and the game will just magically win itself, I guess, is the key to victory for Hapoom. Meanwhile, for Kevin, big weekend for you and your team with 4 games over
Yes.
the course of the next 2 days. can really put yourself squarely back in that playoff picture. So I just want to know what the mood is like over there amongst the stragglers as you guys get into this big weekend.
We are high and mighty. We are gonna show Hapoom and his little other tiny stragglers that he has with him too that there is nothing that they should have changed at all because we're gonna, you know what? We didn't change. We just became even bigger and stronger. We're gonna tower over them, and really, we're gonna give you a show. We're gonna give you a spectacle, you know. And
Oh.
you already know. Get some rakakacows up in this chat. By the end
Yeah.
of this game, Hapoom, I know you're gonna be saying rakakacows up in front of that mirror. Get it together.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. So can we get a bet? Like Hapoom, if you lose, you have to give the stream a Rakakakao.
You gotta give it. You gotta give it to us.
Oh my god. Uh,
Bet, bet, bet.
so I really want to say no because there's so my friends just like me and Calvin's friends just watch the stream and then randomly get this like clips and then just make video out of it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly.
So oh no.
Kevin, what you gotta have some reciprocity here. So what if you guys end up going down to Hapuuma Matata, right? If the condition here is that Hapoom has to give us his best Rakakakao, what are you going to do if your team ends up taking the L in this first game?
I don't know what I mean. What is memorable about Hapoom's team that there's something for me to do
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
in order
whoa.
for me to
Well,
be in that esque era? You know, I don't think
have
there is
have
anything.
you have you heard the Hapoom tilt like
Noises.
yeah, I have no idea how to put it. It's not really like yeah, it's like just kind of like it's not really screeching. I don't know. They're kind of like just like dying noises from a wounded animal, but they're really funny, in my opinion. So maybe we'll have you do some of those. So Poom can give you a
Example.
model.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. If it comes to pass in the post game, I think that's going to be the agreement here between both captains. Just going to parody each other's signature lines slash noises. Anyways, with that, then I think we're gonna get the show on the road. We'll let you guys go back and captain your respective teams to victory. So good luck to you both. Good luck to your teams, and let's get ready to rumble.
Thanks, Roger.
Ah, Kevin, can't get enough. Okay, so as we load in here, or as we get ready to load in here into the pick and ban phase, will be interesting here to see, I think, the strategies coming out from both teams, really. Pumatata, we haven't seen them since, I want to say Wednesday, but they did pick up a win there um, over Chile's Angels. I think what we've seen here with the Pumatata is that they kind of play up or down to their competition, to be honest. They have wins this season over Andyland. One of only two teams to take a game off of Andyland have beat Chile's Angels, have beat Pokey, but have also lost to the quote unquote bottom feeders of the tournament. Have lost to Double Jungle Gap, who are currently sitting at 3-5. Have also lost to Team Strag at 2-5. So let's hope that they can play up to their high standards here and not play down to the competition. Meanwhile, for Team Strag, again, we've seen them, funnily enough, they are the other team to take a game off of Andyland. So King Slayers they might be, but Peasant Slayers they are not. Have not had too much success against the rest of the table here. Again, their two wins thus far being Andyland and Hapuuma Matata. So we'll see here if they can repeat history. Okay, so take a look at some of these bans here. Going to be two support bans. So just banning out the respective captains of each team. Zyra Jana supports going to be taken away from the hands of Anuhia, aka Kevin. Meanwhile, Apoom going to not get the chance to play his favored Aurelia nor or a Kali. Let's see if they make it 3 for 3 here. We've seen a lot of teams also target Ali, aka the support, aka Grace of Hapuuma Matata, with a lot of their bans. So Leona definitely on the cards here as an option. Nautilus, general engage supports, but no, gonna be the Udyr taken away from Magnus Crow, which to me signals an instant Hecarim pick here. Magnus has really found success on these two power junglers in Udyr and Hecarim, but will be interesting here to see what they decide to go with. Yep, there is that Hecarim locked in round 1 for Hapuuma Matata. Let's see what they decide to go with here for Team Strag. Going down to the wire here. Some things that we could potentially see again. Morgana gonna end up being the lock in here. Should go in the support role. Misskiller, the mid laner of Team Strag, I don't think has a Morgana in his pocket, so will be Morgana support locked in here. And ooh, this is a very early. Okay. Oh. Oh, okay. All right. So we get the Jin locked in here for the Scholar, aka Ryan. Had good success with this champion. They ran Jin Zyra in their game versus Hapuuma Matata, which led them to victory. A lot of kills happened in that bot lane. This time, Morgana Jin, if that bind lands, is going to mean a lot of damage coming down. So, we're going to be interesting here to see what they decide to go with. And, oh my goodness, someone almost misclicked Senna. But yeah, that's a Seraphine locked in now for Ali. I think, as far as I can tell, I do not believe that Niku Toilet plays Seraphine, but okay, so we have some very strong ultimate abilities coming out on the side of Hapuuma Matata here if the Senna gets locked in, which it does. So Seraphine, Senna, Hecarim, all accomplished R pressers here. Can definitely get a lot of AoE damage down in a line. Long range engage as well in the hands of both Seraphine and Hecarim. So the Black Shields need to be on point here, and Team Strag also need to take special care to not just file in a single file line one by one. Okay, so gonna get a matchup of two mounted junglers here. Sejuani gonna be the lock in for Strag in the hands of Kato. Should be fun. The betting will get started soon. All right, chill, chill. God damn. Okay. Meanwhile, Aatrox going to be banned away, so more top bans now aimed at Hapuuma Matata. I personally really want to see Yone. I think Yone would be a good pickup here. Niku Toilet has had it consistently banned away from him in previous iterations, so it will be interesting here to see if the Yone ends up being left up. And while I go over this, might as well. Okay, yeah, just more top. So 4 top bands here coming out. Camille going to be taken away as well. Cassiopeia being taken away from Misskillers. Let's see if they go with that trend. We've seen him play Ziggs as his other comfort champion thus far in the tournament. And yep, there it is, going to be taken away. So I have my crystal ball in front of me tonight. Okay. And ooh, okay, so we're gonna get Veigar locked in for Misskiller. This is a champion that we've seen in the tournament already in the hands of the mid laner of Pokey card, aka Florzel. But this time gonna be played by Misskiller. We have not seen him play this champion yet. I've never seen him play the champion in the history of League of Legends besides like the one game I was watching 30 minutes earlier. And Sag, we're not gonna get the Yone. We're going to get the Victor. So Victor going to be a good pick here, generally speaking, against Veigar. Has more than enough long range to stay away from the Veigar cage. And meanwhile, Hapuum now going to ponder what his last pick is going to be. All right. Meanwhile, going to set up the betting here so that you guys can stop bitching. So there we go. Okay, so Victor and Jax going to go in the mid and top lanes here for Hapuuma Matata. We saw the power of the Jax in the hands of Bao Bao's in support diffs game. I want to say over Don't Worry We Scale. That Jax, after suffering through a bit of a rough early game, ended up absolutely just snowballing out of control. And looks like Darius is going to be the preferred counter matchup here in the hands of Algie, aka Alex. So we have our matchups, ladies and gentlemen, which means we also have our bet up. And oh my goodness, so much money already coming out. Already 90,000 channel points being put down here on Hapuuma Matata, which is going to heavily swing the betting in their favor. Let's see if the Strag fans can bring it back a little bit, because right now it is 90 to 10, more or less. Okay, so Chunks here going to be in position to win a lot of money. Oh, actually now going to be Matt Mayhem Gaming coming in with another big bet
Yo,
on
Roger.
Strag. Get the fuck
Roger.
out. Go back to your team. What are you doing? All right, so Knock illegally going to be coming up to the peanut gallery. That is illegal. Should be staying. No, you cannot. No. I've literally talked about this on stream. You can't bet on an outcome that you can directly influence. That's called match fixing. It is literally a bannable offense in, sports. So, what a griefer is this fucking miskiller. Anyways, gonna watch the spectator delay tick down here. Let's take a look then at the general comps here for both teams. If we look at Hapuuma Matata here, going to be looking probably for a 4-1 comp. There's a core 4 of Senna, Hecarim, Seraphine, and Victor, more than capable of all pressing their AoE ultimate abilities and picking up some crucial kills. Meanwhile, Jax, generally speaking, wants to be splitting off in the side lane. If he can get through what should be a rough early game up against this Darius, should have a wonderful time. No real 1v1 champions besides Darius, who steadily falls off as the game progresses. Meanwhile, for Team Strag, a lot of long range as well, although their engage options are a little bit more limited. We do have the... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, we have a role swap. Let me take that back. I did not notice this, but Algie actually going to be past the Sejuani here, so we're actually going to see Kato in the top lane on the Darius. It will not be the traditional top laner that we've seen thus far in the tournament from Team Strag. So Algie going to go into the jungle here on Sejuani. I think that's really, really interesting. But anyways, the engage options here for Strag are a little bit more limited. Obviously, with a long range Glacial Prison from Sejuani, but that's only a one-person stun. The Vigard Cage is relatively short range, does a lot of good against dive, but only Hecarim is really going to be diving in here from Hapuuma Matata, so gonna need to see some smart positioning coming out from Vigard if he wants to land cages onto this very squishy backline of Hapuuma Matata. Meanwhile, Darius is going to have his hands full in the mid game trying to deal with this split pushing Jax, but can hopefully bring a early game advantage into some skirmishes and maybe even some team fights and take and snowball the game from there. Darius obviously a strong early game champion, so will be interesting to see what Darius can do. We've seen Darius played thus far in the tournament, not really to much success. I personally don't really like this pick in a competitive environment. The more champions Darius generally has on his screen, the harder time he has getting into team fights. And now with walking through Seraphine, slow, stun, Senna, snare, Hecarim knockback, going to mean that he will have a difficult time getting to the members that he wants. Okay, but with that, we are going to load into the game here. So, ladies and gentlemen, get hype for Hapuuma Matata versus Team Strag. Hapuuma Matata on 5 and 4. Team Strag at 2 and 5. Let's get it popping. Okay, also please let me know if you guys hear the game audio or not. As far as I can tell, it should be good to go, but my OBS decides to grief me from time to time. So if you guys don't hear those game sounds, then let me know. Why is this game not loading in on OBS? Weird champ. Okay, should be up soon. Alright. While we're loading in, we are still loading in, don't worry. Final betting going to be about 4 to 1 in favor of Hapuuma Matata here. Oh, there we go. It is live. And yes, thank you, Matt, for the reminder. Okay, yeah, neither of these teams doing me the courtesy of lining up in LCS order will mean that I have to rearrange champions. Ugh. Also, thank you to Egg1714 for the follow. Welcome, welcome to Do It Big. Hopefully you like what you see. Alright, so we have that. Alright, I remembered my stuff. Let's go. Okay, as we load in here, a couple things to keep an eye on. Both top laners here picking summoners for lane. We see Jax with the Ignite, Darius with the Ghost Flash, meaning both top laners are not particularly interested in joining a potential team fight across the map. Meanwhile, mid lane here for Victor gonna opt for a cleanse. Cleanse also picked up here by Senna. Obviously, some really good pick tools coming out from the side of Team Strag. The Deadly Flourish from Jhin, the Dark Binding from Morgana, if they are not cleansed appropriately, will result in deaths. So, Victor and Senna here are going to take cleanse to defend themselves from that long-range CC engage. Okay, and we're going to immediately start this game off with a pause. Let's go, because Darius here has some connection issues, which is reflected by the fact that he is still sitting in Falcon. As we start here, going to be standard 5 points coming out from both teams. 2 wars already being dropped here, though, for Team Hapuuma Matata. Okay, and here we go. The copy pastas are ready to go. Let's take a look here at this one. Alex in the bot lane is godlike, not just because of his mechanical outplays, but also because of his dazzling, handsome, good looks. Has anyone ever really been far even as decided to use even... What? That's not a okay. I hope Alex wins XD. I'm an Alex main and he's just so fun. People get so trolled by his auto attacks. And his voice is so cute, like when he sings about chocolate cake, LOL. He's super random but also smarter than he looks, just like me. XD. True. True. Jesus Christ. People, you can't all chat a command, just /resume, not all... Oh my god. Okay, so this is a senior software engineer, ladies and gentlemen, right here, not figuring out how to use fucking bot commands. Typed /all and then /ready and then /all/resume. Good shit, Knock. I can see why they pay you the big bucks over there at Facebook. Okay. Gonna load into the game here. Looks like we're going to get opposite side starts from both junglers. Oh no, Sejuani now potentially walking back towards his bot lane. Okay, so we're actually going to get same side starts from both teams, which should favor the Hecarim here. Obviously Hecarim with a very, very fast clear should be more than capable of getting a level 4 at 315, in which case the duel for Scuttle should favor the level 4 champion over the level 3 champion. But meanwhile, for Sejuani, has potent ganks as early as level 2 if he skills his Q instead of his W, but generally speaking also wants to get 3 levels and then maybe start looking for some early games. Gonna take a look here. Meanwhile, in the top lane, will be interesting to keep an eye on. I think Hapuum on this Jax, obviously a signature champion of his. Also, generally, I think a little bit more comfortable in the top lane. Oh, huge trade by Jin onto the Senna. That grenade actually going to do so much work. Senna already down to about half HP. Going to be taking harass here from the pool as well. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Jax getting level 2 first. Going to get a counter-strike leap onto Darius here. Going to proc Conquer as well. Not going to eat the... Ooh, no! Ooh, so going to be flash out here, but Ignite is not going to be enough. So all summoners used by Jax, flash still available for Darius, but needs to be careful because you cannot flash away from leap damage. But as it stands, Jax, I think, going a little too aggressive, ended up taking 2 tower shots there in that trade, going to mean that he has to use both of his summoners very early, and now the bat signal should be shining for both junglers here as they approach this top lane. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we're actually going to see fasting Senna. So we'll seeing the Seraphine match up CS against the Jin. We haven't really seen fasting Senna in the tournament. Thus far. Okay, now Bind gonna land onto Seraphine. Gotta be really careful here. So much damage coming out. Now gonna go down as well. Seraphine gonna walk out of here with about 15% HP, but yeah, that was a good trade there from the Jin, landing that Deadly Flourish. Again, we got to keep an eye on these junglers as they approach this top side. Sejuani right now clearing Krug's, going to hit level 4 at about 340 here. Meanwhile, Hecarim, again, with that increased clear speed, already level 4 on this Scuttle Crab. And Victor here with a good ward. Both laners here actually with advanced wards that will spot any potential Sejuani gank coming out of the jungle. So good vision control there by Hapuuma Matata. Actually gonna be a snare landing, but the Black Shield comes out just in time. Otherwise, Jin could be in for a world of hurt. The Dark Binding not gonna land there. But it will mean here that Hecarim is going to be more than happy to take away both scuttles here. And Jax did spot Sejuani coming through that tri-bush. Bot lane here for Team Strag also need to be careful. Hecarim is lurking around, has Ghost available. So, yep, Hecarim now going to charge in. Here we go. Ghost has not been popped yet, though. Where's the Ghost? The Ghost, okay, now going to be popped here. Jin going to be the call out, but now going to go aggressive onto the Morgana. Flashes forced out by both bot laners of Team Strag. So, good gank coming in from Hecarim. The knockback was black shielded, thankfully for Jin, otherwise could have spelled even more disaster, but good gank coming out from Hecarim, who also has that farm lead up 2 camps right now, able to double crab away the scuttles, and Sejuani meanwhile looked for a top gank that never materialized. Interestingly here, Sejuani gonna pick up a Bramble Vest as her first buy. We never see this coming out from junglers, to be honest. Hold on, going to be a potential Dark Binding angle onto... Okay, nope. But Sejuani here going to show on the bot side. Meanwhile, Hecarim just going to go back to farming here again. Has that tempo advantage, and unfortunately is pathing poorly. So a little bit of a jungle tip here for junglers. You never want to start on your middle 2 camps here unless you're going for ganks, because now if Hecarim realizes that he has no bot gank available, he has to walk through here, realize his Raptors are dead before walking through here. So just inefficient pathing here coming out from the Hecarim to not maximize what is already going to be a sizable lead for him. But in the grand scheme of things, should still be able to hit level 6 here before his jungling counterpart in Sejuani. And after that, we're going to see if he can land some impactful Onslaught of Shadows. Ooh, Jax, you're actually getting pulled into tower by the Darius, and now the Ignite going to come down from the Jax. Again, I don't think this is enough to burn the Darius down, and okay, both junglers, or both top laners now level 6, which means Jax needs to be careful. And now, in the meanwhile, Victor going to be forced to use Cleanse here to dodge out from a potential gank coming in from Sejuani. Vigard there with a good cage means that Victor has to blow that crucial summoner, which will mean that if Sejuani can get 6 here within the next 2 minutes, could have a very good gank opportunity onto Victor, who is still in position for a potential cage here. Hecarim, meanwhile, with the tempo advantage, actually spotting Sejuani on the Raptors, going to mean that he is going to take an uncontested early Cloud Dragon here. So good cross-map play coming out from Hapuuma Matata. Sejuani recognizing the Hecarim, obviously taking away that dragon, is not going to be on top side, going to take some time to counter jungle away the Gromp. So good stuff coming out here thus far. The majority of the action has really been happening in this top lane. Jax has more or less been using Ignite on cooldown, taking Darius low twice, but given the lane positioning, really has not had enough real estate to run down the Noxian Executioner here, unfortunately. Alright, so Hecarim here almost level 6. Will be interesting to see where this first onslaught of shadows here goes. Sejuani, meanwhile, because of the tempo loss that is Cloud Dragon, going to be relatively even on XP now, and interestingly, got to keep an eye on the lack of cleanse available for Victor here. So Victor is not able to flash away from a potential Glacial Prison. It's going to spell death for him in the mid lane. Okay. Meanwhile, for Hecarim, yep, just gonna keep an eye here on the junglers. I think this top lane is very, very volatile. Both laners do have flash, and Sejuani is hanging around here. Darius also has the win button that is Ghost, so keep an eye on that. Ooh, good Ju coming out from Senna in the nick of time to dodge out from that Deadly Flourish, because if that Dark Binding had landed, it would have definitely spelled a kill for Team Strag in the bot lane. I'd really like to see Hecarim here take advantage of the flashless bot lane. So, yeah, not going to have flash for about a minute and a half here. Dark Binding going to be barely missed here from Morgana. And again, we're going to have to keep an eye on where this Hecarim decides to go. Thus far, just been farming. And now, though, the Deadly Royal landing will mean that, ooh, Morgana going to get charmed into tower potentially here, but not going to be too close. And now one more auto from the Jhin would have been enough. But the Dawning Shadow over the top going to give Seraphine a little bit of a shield. So all ultimates coming out here from the bot lane. Again, if you're Hecarim, you got to start looking. Meanwhile, Jhin going to keel to get some movement speed. And Seraphine not going to be interested in that. Going to be forced to ghost away. Or flash away, excuse me. And now we're going to get the onslaught shadows over the top onto Veigar. First one going to get handed over to Magnus Crow onto the Hecarim. Sejuani here going to flash in and pick up a return kill onto the Victor, but that is now a flashless Sejuani. So going to be a double kill now for the headless horse. Well, not the headless horseman, but the horseman. So there is that first onslaught of shadows being used to good effect. I thought it would go to the bot lane. Ends up being used in the mid lane. First blood being picked up here. Sejuani picks up a trade kill on to Victor before Hecarim is able to mop it up here. Now sitting at 2-0 and 0 with a farm advantage as well. Ooh, this is going to be a dead Seraphine potentially. Dark Binding landing onto Seraphine, but okay, the Guardian going to have just enough shielding to prevent any more damage. Jhin obviously already used the Curtain Call, so not going to be able to find too much more damage onto Seraphine under her tower. Now though, Jax going to be 3-man ganked here. Going to jump away from the Veigar cage, but now with the flash hook from the Darius, going to mean that Jax is going to go down here in short order. Going to be bleeding out here. And there it is. So, the first top lane kill going to go over to Darius, which is going to be very, very nice because he actually died in a 1v1 scenario. I didn't notice that originally. I apologize for that. But yeah, Jax now up a huge chunk of CS. And yeah, gonna steadily start pushing that advantage. So Darius does not end up getting the early game that he really needs to really snowball the top lane in his favor. And now we're gonna have the potential threat of that side lane Jax. Ooh, good cage coming out from Veigar here. Gonna take Victor to about 60% HP. One more of those is going to mean that the additional burst coming in from the Veigar ultimate is gonna be more than enough to execute Victor where he stands. Alright. As we do have a bit of a pause here, let's take a look at the Senna stacks. Currently sitting at 28, which is not so high if I don't think for fasting Senna. From what I've seen, you want to be around 40 at this stage of the game. By no means doing poorly, but nevertheless could definitely still be higher. The Scuttle Crab here going to be started up by Hapuuma Matata here, as Infernal Dragon is now 15 seconds away from spawning. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Jax lands a Counter-Strike stun onto Darius. Meanwhile, ooh, the Chaos Storm, a couple more procs. The Victor gonna walk through the cage to keep guiding the Storm over, and that's gonna be a solo kill for Niku Toilet onto the Vigard. We're seeing the power of that cleanse come through. Victor just going to literally flash into the wall of the cage and then immediately cleanse the stun to make sure they can keep guiding the Chaos Storm on towards the poor little evil magician in the mid lane, which will mean that Team Strag are not confident to contest the second dragon of the game. Meanwhile, Jax, oh no, gonna pick up another kill onto Darius, which is really unfortunate because in between him picking up that kill onto Jax and now he's only picked up 2 more CS. Gonna be losing a huge wave as well as plates to Jax. So yeah, this snowball in the top lane is well and truly rolling. We take a look at the gold leads here. Already a 1.7k gold lead for Jax. Gonna be 2k after he picks up this next plate. And meanwhile for Magnus Crow on the Hecarim, able to take away both dragons thus far, plus take that double kill in the mid lane. Gonna be up about 600 over the Sejuani. The only real advantage here has been the bot lane. Jhin is obviously going to be ahead in gold over the fasting Senna, but the Seraphine is going to make up some of that 1000 gold lead with 600 advantage over Morgana. Uh-oh. Okay, so we're going to have another pause coming in here. It seems like Darius is having a little bit of internet issues, so we're going to hopefully get that sorted out. Hopefully that hasn't been the cause of these unfortunate skirmishes for Darius in the top lane. But yeah, thus far this role swap coming in from Team Strag has not really paid dividends. I don't think that putting your jungler in the top lane up against at worst a top 2 top laner in the tournament is going to be the best initiation for Kato here. But still early in the game, plenty of time to turn this around. Okay, what's going on, Twitch chat? This pause might take a while. What do you guys want to talk about? Oh, is Chungus here? What up, Chungus?
Yeah, I just joined. Sorry, I'm a little late. I thought it was
Oh,
at
you're good.
11.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, we've been starting at 8 every time, but triple header means we had to start at 7 today. But yeah. Are you in the spectate?
Yeah, I'm in. I'm in
Okay,
pause.
cool. Good. Yeah. Thus far, this game steadily going in favor of Hapuuma Matata.
Yeah, it's
Did you
looking
bet?
rough. It's right. No, I didn't get to bed in time.
Smooge.
Sag. The birds and the bees.
You guys want to talk about the birds and the bees?
The BMO skins? Or the new bee skins?
Yeah, dude. Beemaw and what else?
Boomy.
Boomy
Beamy.
and or Beamy. Is it Beamy or Boomy?
I think
It's
Beamy.
Beamy, right?
Yeah.
And actually, the Malzahar
Malzahar,
skin is really sick,
yeah.
in my opinion. You just get like
What-
you just summon a bee swarm.
What is it called? Bee Malzahar? No.
Maybe Hive Master Malzahar or something. I don't fucking know.
It's called Beezahar.
Beezahar?
Oh, it's Yubi, not Yumi.
Okay.
Yubi.
Oh, you be
Beemaw.
okay. Jesus Christ. Riot just printing money over
Little
here.
voidlings look so cute with little eyes.
Yeah. Do you have the Beemo skin? Or Beekeeper Cinch?
No, I don't have any of the bee skins.
Damn. Me
I don't
neither.
really play those champions.
Yeah.
Sad.
Sedge. Meanwhile, if we're talking about birds, just a lack of bird champions in the meta, in the tournament meta, I think. Haven't really seen
Oh,
a
dear.
Nivea, haven't seen Quinn, so kind of sad there. I guess the closest is just Ash Hawkshots, but unfortunately, not too much in the way of birds. Sorry, pizza. Okay, the unpause is in effect here. Looks to be a pretty neutral stated game thus far. Now as both objectives are down, but Sejuani now gonna ping on my way top, so we're gonna try to turn around this. Okay, and Jackson obliged by jumping in onto the Darius. Now we're gonna find the but the Q not gonna land. Now the Ghost is going to be popped here by Darius, hooking a land as well. Going to be followed by the stun from Jax, and this will be a very dead. This will be a very dead Jax. So good game coming out from Sejuani here. Jax really had no opportunity to turn that around. Meanwhile, Hecarim curiously just ulted through the Vigard cage, but maybe potentially trying to find an engage onto the Master of Evil. Not going to come through, which will mean a crucial cooldown is blown by Hecarim. So it looks like the lag is fixed here for Doman. Congratulations to him. What is the... There we go. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, going to be trades coming out, but Victor needs to be aware here that there is a Sejuani waiting in the wings, is not sighted by any vision, and now though Victor, Vigard going to have to flash over the wall. Now Vigard Sejuani going to try to take over this fight. One more auto would result in a stun, and there it is, and Morgana going to roam up here as well. Victor needs to be careful. Ooh, the flash, oh no, the Morgana going to flash into the wall, and the, oh god, here we go. The devastating charge actually used too early for Hecarim to actually land an auto attack onto either Victor or onto Vigard or Sejuani. I'm just dropping the champion names here. But yeah, that was the potential makings of a huge fight. But unfortunately, Victor was able to flash over a wall that Morgana was not. So Victor able to get out of there. Actually did not have cleanse there, so a binding or a ethereal chains would have been fatal. Now though, Sejuani gonna continue her world tour. Now in the bot lane, Seraphine overextended here is gonna go down shortly. Gonna be handed over to the Jhin. So the ganks of Sejuani paying dividends here in the mid game for Team Strag to make sure that they are still in the picture here.
Yes, Sentry's doing a lot on the map, but Hecarim picks up Rift here. They're a little late on the Rift, no plates, but hopefully they get top turret, unleash the mid lane, top laner.
Yeah. So we're seeing here then now, again, that increased emphasis on top lane for Hapuuma Matata. Hecarim, meanwhile, hasn't really been the initiator of any of these ganks, has thus far found himself in a lot of counter gank scenarios, which, if you're ahead on Hecarim, is not necessarily your preferred MO. But regardless, the lack of the Onslaught of Shadows there means that him trying to reach the Vigard there was going to fall short. And Team Strag going to now claw the gold lead back a little bit, only down about 1,500 now, as the third dragon of the game here is due to spawn in a minute. As we get ready for a dragon fight here, we are going to start to see the potential of this bot lane of Hapuuma Matata. We haven't really seen a lot of impactful encores this game just yet, but Seraphine will have that cooldown in time, but needs to be careful. Going to walk into a Dark Binding here. No follow-up coming in from a Sejuani. It's just going to mean that Jhin is just going to land a Deadly Flourish over the top, and meanwhile, Senna going to give it as good as she gets it, and now this Morgana is overextended. Remember, no flash, so... Okay, the Encore going to be used on one to lock up what was already going to be a pretty secure kill. Going to be handed over to the Hecarim here. Now 3-0, but that is a big cooldown here used right before Dragon spawns. I don't think, though, that Team Strag are confident enough to contest because there is a very powerful Jax split pushing this top lane, which will mean that Hapuuma Matata will have pole positioning onto... Oh, hold on. Senna going to potentially be found out here by Sejuani. And the Deadly Flourish over the top going to be immediately cleansed away. Good stuff here. And now the Jhin going to be over. Senna going to be knocked into Seraphine here. Going to be handed over to Ali. And now the Onslaught of Shadows going to knock Sejuani back in. Sejuani does not have flash. A couple more autos. This Hecarim is on a rampage, and things are steadily going south here for Team Strag. Jhin trying to look for a potential catch onto Senna, but that was always going to be a 2v3, and we're seeing the power of that cleanse, able to put themselves into some compromising positions in order to bait the engage from Jhin and Sejuani. And now this Hecarim 4-0-1, 3 dragons, 124 CS, gonna go home, probably pick up a Sterix gauge, or the makings of a Sterix gauge, and just really start rampaging through this game. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Victor just going to be dancing inside the Vigard cage, and one more tick from the Chaos Storm. Going to pick up Miss Killer here, and we're not seeing this first time Vigard pay any dividends. Sag. I'm really disappointed, to be honest, because I love Vigard as a champion. Actually was my first champion in League of Legends. So, big fan of the little guy, but the little guy has really not been able to find too much success here up against this mid lane Victor, courtesy, I think, of that cleanse pickup.
Yeah, I think Veigar's actually really good in the meta right now. I was spamming him. I watch Mo. Mo play it a lot on
Oh, I see.
the Challenger.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. With the new Everfrost and the new Lucidity boots, his low mana cost, he can stack really well.
Right.
Really.
Yeah, I think Veigar did receive a Q mana reduction in the latest patch. I think it's like 30 mana now for his Q, so it's just next to nothing.
Yeah, and a RC CD buff. I think it's 60 at max, 60 seconds at max rank now.
Oh, that's pretty big. This blue's gonna refresh, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, Hecarim. Yeah, I got it. It's okay. Meanwhile, though, unfortunately, falling behind on Veigar is going to mean that this Verdant Barrier is going to ensure that Victor is more than comfortable with the burst coming out from Veigar. It's going to mean then that Veigar really needs a lot of help, ideally from Jhin. Sejuani is primarily magic damage focused as well, so this Verdant Barrier is going to do a lot of work. Let's take a look here as well at the stacks. So we're going to do another stack check. Veigar only sitting at 116 bonus AP. Senna, meanwhile, almost at her third breakpoint, sitting at 55 souls. At 60, we'll obviously get that increased auto range as well as some extra crit chance as well. Now going to be almost 5 members here of Hapuuma Matata in the bot lane. I'm not really sure what this one is about, to be honest, but... Oh, gonna be a potential dive. Victor, though, gonna walk into Sejuani. Gonna have to take the Blast Cone over if he's not careful. But actually going to be, just going to be confident enough. Encore over the top, gonna now pull Sejuani in. And now the Hecarim is gonna be on top of the Morgana as well. Going to be tanky, very, very tanky. Dawning Shadow over the top. Meanwhile, Jax able to pick up the Veigar. This Morgana gonna be stuck between a rock and a Jax. The Jax gonna be able to auto that one away. Morgana once again using Flash to no effect. Going to mean that this random Nabat push coming out from Hapuuma Matata going to result in 3 kills plus this tier 1 bot turret. Jax winning rip, says Bao Bao's. Yeah, that's really unfortunate. Oh, my game froze for a second. You would know something about that, wouldn't you, Bao? Okay, so with that latest team fight here for Hapuuma Matata, going to mean that they now race out to a near 7,000 gold lead at 20 minutes. Going to be really, really hard for this comp from Team Strag to claw their way back. Veigar is honestly not the biggest scaling option if you... It's kind of the Nasus syndrome. Veigar late game has a lot of problems because people will have enough defensive utility, either in the form of like a Banshee's Veil or QSS to get away from a Veigar cage, which means that he's not going to be able to find burst. Hold on, meanwhile Jack's going to be executed by the Darius in the top lane, so going to be a shutdown here, handed over to Darius, trying to get him back in the game, but we take a look here at Team Strag's comp. Not a whole lot of scaling options. Jhin is going to have a hard time. Not the best tank killer up against the Hecarim. Jax, obviously, with Counter-Strike, is going to negate the majority of his damage. Senna, meanwhile, going to be scaling up steadily throughout the game. And Darius is the opposite of a scaling champion. Going to rue the lack of powerful early game as he kind of crawls into this mid game. Sitting here on a Stride Breaker, going to be building towards a Sterix Gauge, but up against the Blade of the Ruined King and the Divine Sunderer from Jax, going to mean that in any 1v1 scenario, he is going to be heavily disadvantaged. Alright. The Mountain Dragon going to be spawning here, going to be a potential Mountain Soul for Hapuuma Matata. Sejuani has done a decent job here of keeping up in levels, going to mean that Hecarim is only going to have a measly 1 level advantage in the potential 50-50 smite fight. But if you're looking at Hapuuma Matata here, they have a lot of engage options, and so one of them being the ever powerful Encore. And it's going to mean that they now start filing into this Dragon Pit. Going to take away this control ward. And now Jack's going to be the first one to initiate. Encore going to only hit 2, but one of them is Sejuani. But the Onslaught Shroud's over the top. Going to be 2 for 1 thus far. Veigar going to go down first. Jack's going to be traded over, but now it's going to be a Morgana picked up here. Hecarim doing so much. We're going to end up being shut down by the Jhin. So some decent pickups here for Team Strag, and now the curtain calls, you need to block it! Oh my goodness, but the Darius bleed is actually going to still be enough to take out the Senna, which actually means it ends up being a 3-4-4 in favor of Hapuuma Matata, but not nearly as conclusive of a result as you would have expected for a team that is currently up, that was up about 7,000 gold. Now this Jin here. Oh, gonna flash in the Earth Dragon. The Earth Dragon's hitting Seraphine. One more auto. It's gonna be that Seraphine goes down, and now Victor gonna have to run for the hill's gonna be slowed here by the trap coming out from Jin. Teleport gonna come in from Vigar, but Vigar's not gonna have nearly enough damage to kill this Earth Dragon before Jax and Hecarim re-arrive onto the scene. Now we're gonna get an extended fight here. Gonna go back to that team fight UI. Victor does have the Chaos Storm available, and Vigar going to be taking a good chunk of damage from the Earth Dragon. Sejuani here should have enough damage to potentially smite away the Dragon, but now Jax coming in from the flank, going to try to look for Sejuani first. The Chaos Storm going to be able to pick up the Vigar, but the Mountain Soul will be denied, but Sejuani going to go down here, and we're going to limp away. So I think the final tally will end up being 4-4-6. Everybody not named Victor went down on Hapuuma Matata's side. Meanwhile, for Team Strag, Sejuani went down twice, and everybody else went down once.
I think Vigar went down twice.
Oh, you're right. Jin never died. So Vigar and Sejuani gonna both go down twice. Meanwhile, the lack of that Sejuani going to mean that this Baron down to about 1,000. It's gonna be smited away by the Hecarim. Good stuff there. And Darius not strong enough at this point. The Encore not gonna find too much, but Darius taking the blast cone over the wall. Maybe the top laner still having some jungler tendencies here. Gonna go for broke. Going to just donate some more gold over to Hapuuma Matata. Now with the Baron with about a 9,000 gold lead, surely they cannot mess this up. Let's see where they decide to take this Baron. That was almost a comeback, honestly, for Team Strag. That Darius actually did so much work. Actually ended up yoinking two people over the wall here, Senna and Victor. And the bleed stack's going to be enough to take out... Oops, I did not mean to do that. And being enough to take out the Senna with the help of the curtain call over the top. But now with Baroned up minions, with a general lack of wave clear coming out from... okay, hold on. Jack's going to be overextended once again. Now going to find himself in a 1v3 scenario. Counter-Strike not going to be... Oh, no! The flash going to be used too late! Going to mean that Jin is actually going to be able to walk away, and now going to be rooted up. Deadly Force going to land as well. But Jack still alive here. Is going to go very, very low. Dotting Shadow over the top, trying to find some time for him. Counter-Strike going to come out, but going to be magic damage primarily taking him. And now Seraphine going to be overextended here. Curtain Call now going to come over the top, and Seraphine is going to go down shortly. But the Encore over the... Oh, no! Actually not going to be... Oh, my goodness. What is going on? The Senna here not going to spotty block for her support. Means that the Curtain Call going to be able to find the last hit on to... Oh, now Vigar going to flash in, try to find an ultimate. No, not going to be enough. And Victor going to have enough HP to last through the bleed. This is a full-blown fiesta now, ladies and gentlemen. Started off by a gank onto the Jax. It was a good start, but Jax able to buy enough time for her team to filter in. Seraphine taking a very aggressive flank ankle, ended up almost living, but Senna unfortunately not able to step in front of the final curtain call shot. Means that she went down, but the rest of Hapuuma Matata arriving on scene, especially this 517 Darius, able to mop up the rest. Wow, okay. Will mean that the tier 2 of mid lane and bot lane are both taken away by Hapuuma Matata. Going to increase their gold lead now to about 11,000. Baron here is going away in about 30 seconds. So shouldn't be too much more picked up in terms of towers by Hapuuma Matata. But there is now a Mountain Soul still on the card, spawning here in 100 seconds. Okay, Chungus, what needs to happen if Strag are going to find a good win, a good team fight win?
I think Darius needs to pop off. I think Darius has been, last fight we saw, it was really, really close for him just to get all the resets and wipe them. I think if they use maybe Black Shield and Darius or Jin just to get them all low so that Darius can reset. That's probably the key.
Yeah. Good point, good point. Yeah, so Darius again has been really close. If he can find a good flank angle, get past the Hecarim and the Jax, should have a decent amount of success up against Senna and Seraphine. But as it stands here, let's take a look. Senna on 91 stacks now. Going to be pushing towards that 725 range in 9 more Myth Wraiths. Meanwhile, for the other stacking champion in the game, Veigar sitting on a paltry 150 bonus AP at this stage in the game. It is not a good look for Veigar, especially as he rolls into the mid game. Really needs that extra burst behind his abilities, especially considering he is in poverty right now. Sitting on a Seeker's Arm Guard plus an Amp Tome. Not going to find the cage onto the Victor, who has Banshee's Veils anyways. Means that now... Oh, Sejuani needs to be careful. Gonna lose the passive resist. That's pretty huge. Whoa! Jin gonna walk in here. Gonna mean that the Encore is gonna land here. The Dawning Shadow over the top, plus the Onslaught Shadow is gonna pick up too. Jin and Sejuani going down here. Veigar picked up in short order. Morgana here going to flash once again to no effect. Unfortunately for Team Strag, just not on the same page. Jin ended up just walking into the Victor Chaos Storm, and the Onslaught of Shadows over the top, plus the Morgana not having the Black Shield available. Meant that Jin just went down so fast. Meanwhile, not all is done yet, because in the top lane, Darius actually going to use Striper to try to get away from the Jax, but not going to be enough. And now Jax going to complete the map-wide ace for Hapuuma Matata. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, Hapuuma Matata, you know, gas foot on the pedal here, going to now push onto the mid lane inhibitor. We'll be able to pick that one up. Our freshly mounted sold up as well. So let's see if they decide to stick around here, which could actually end up being a grief. Victor actually, Victor feeling himself. Not gonna finally not gonna land. Going to mean that this Chaos Storm is gonna do a ton of damage. Gonna get stunned up, cleanses the Sejuani stun, and now the Hecarim gonna charge in here. One more auto actually ends up being the Spirit of Dread tick that ends up picking up the Morgana, I think. But it doesn't matter, because Hapuuma Matata are just running riot in Team Strag's base. Top inhibitor going to go down shortly. Meanwhile, Senna sitting on 100 stacks, now going to have 725 range with which to auto these very vulnerable members of Team Strag. Hapuuma Matata now going to go for broke. The Counter Strike is available, going to land onto 2 Darius, and now the Encore over the top, going to charm both Sejuani and Darius back in. Also, the Onslaught Shadows over the top, going to try to find Veigar, but there's a little bit close to the turret. Darius just going to be running here. Only a Sejuani as the casualty so far, but now Veigar needs to be careful, because there is that Counter Strike going to be leaping in. Is this Jax going to be able to pick that one up? And this curtain call going to mean a curtain call for Team Strag in this game. Next second Nexus turret going to fall here. Let's see if they decide to pad their KDAs just a little bit. Victor is a little bit low on mana, which will mean that ends up being the final here, ladies and gentlemen. 32-11 in favor of Team Strag. A resounding revenge game coming out from Hapuuma Matata. GG. Whew. That was about a minute of non-stop action near the end. Goddamn. Alright, let's take a look at some big fights in this game. A lot went down, really in all lanes, once this mid game really exploded into life. The primary action here going to come first in the mid lane, where Veigar ends up eating the Onslaught of Shadows from Hecarim. Sejuani able to flash over the Hecarim to pick up a kill onto Victor before going down to the Horseman. Meanwhile, simultaneously, there was a solo kill in the top lane. Why did I just randomly get teleported to the end of the game? Sorry about that. But yeah, the real big team fight, I think, was here. Let's take a look what happened here. What happened here? Is this the random Nabat? No.
No.
Oh, here it is. Okay. So yeah, Hapuuma Matata here doing a really good job, I think, in general, of just finding picks. And then they'd go for this really curious bot lane push with all 5 members that somehow ends up working out. Victor able to find Sejuani over the top. I think Victor just had a massive cock this game. Just walked into so many people, just without a care in the world, dodging out from the Dark Binding. Meanwhile, just doing so much damage to the Sejuani. Onslaught of Shadows over the top. The bind landing onto Vigar means that Jax is able to find this one eventually. Meanwhile, Hecarim snowballing out of control, not going to take too much damage, and we're going to see, unfortunately, yet another wasted flash from Morgana. But yeah, this was a game of almosts, to be honest. There was a really extended fight here near the potential Mountain Soul point that ended up actually really going in favor of Team Strag in the sense that they were able to pick up the dragon. But let's take a look at how this fight started. Ends up being a decent start here for Hapuuma Matata, but Jax ends up eating it very, very early. Gonna mean that Sejuani and Vigar go down too, though. And now Jin on the run, able to execute the Hecarim with that force shot, able to pick up a huge amount of shutdown gold. And now the Darius in last stand mode, able to yoink away both Victor and Senna, but unfortunately did not flash behind the Victor in time. Meant that the Darius bleed damage is more than enough. Jin, meanwhile, still on the lookout with the force shot. Gonna walk back into Seraphine and Victor, and let's take a look here at just how much work this Mountain Dragon does. Jin flashes in with the auto. Oh, okay, actually I ended up just finding the last auto, but I think it would have gone down to the Mountain Soul attacks anyways. Ends up trading his life, but the teleport coming in from Vigar means that this fight is more than, or is still gonna keep going here as both teams file back in. Yeah. Just so much going on here. Goodness gracious. The Mountain Dragon ended up being picked up, but ends up still being the team fight win for Hapuuma Matata, which they then translated into Baron, which they then translated into a win. So, GG to Hapuuma Matata. Let's hear from the victors, including the victor, I think. So, let's take a look at the damage charts here as well. Give me un momento.
Victor damage Pog.
Victor damage Pog. Yeah, ended up finishing the games 10, 1, and 12. Meanwhile, Hecarim has 7, 1, 11.
Vigar damage Sag.
Yeah, the Vigar. Oh, you really hate to see that. The little man doing little damage in this game. Only up to 4,500 compared to 35,000, a near 7 or more than 7x coming out from Victor in the mid lane department. Jax and Senna doing their fair share as well. So let's see who ends up winning the big money here. Hapuuma Matata were the heavy favorites, but nevertheless, those of you who bet on the favorites are still going to come away with some channel points. And meanwhile, we're also going to hear from, I want to hear from Victor, I want to hear from Hecarim.
Victor.
Yeah. Okay, so give me a second here to drag them up. And meanwhile, there it is. Okay, so GG. I'm joined here on the interview desk by Nep, aka Nuka Toilet, the Victor, and as well by Forbes, aka Magnus Crow, on the Hecarim. Two huge performances coming out from the pair of you in this game. So Nep, Victor again. In the pick and ban, I was really hoping that you would end up picking Yone because it actually ended up being let through for once. But what made you decide to go with Victor?
Well, if you see my past games, like previously, I entered on Yon, and I felt I was gonna int in this game, like no matter what I played. So
you decided to just not int.
Yeah, I just went in. You know.
Yeah, no, I could tell you
Yeah.
were. Like I said it earlier, you're just kind of walking around with just this massive cock, just walking into 3 people, 4 people. But it ended up paying dividends. 10, 1, and 12, I think, was the final score line. Meanwhile, you were aided and abetted by a similarly massive horse in Magnus Crow. Ended up finishing the game 7, 1, and 11. How happy were you that they ended up banning Udyr instead of Hecarim?
Well, our game plan usually is handshake the jungler. So unless they ban, if we're like not first pick, and they ban Udyr or Hecarim, then we ban the other one, right? But we were first picked this game, and they banned Udyr, so we're just like, all right, Hecarim. But if they ended up banning Hecarim, we would have picked Udyr. It was a bit of a either or situation.
Indeed. Yeah, so ended up again working out here 7-1 and 11. You guys ended up really running away with the game when all is said and done. Hopefully with that performance, you guys are bumping up the fan count in Twitch chat after previously saying fuck Twitch chat. So, Nep
Fuck
or
Twitch chat.
oh my god, I was
Let's go.
That's how we do it.
Damn
yes.
you, Twitch chat.
Well, Twitch chat was behind you guys that game. You know, it was like 70.
Surprisingly.
It was like 72-28, I think, in favor of you guys for the betting. So,
Okay.
maybe there are more fans in Twitch chat than you guys think. You know,
They just
maybe
saw the
give Twitch-
victor and then
The more we say fuck Twitch chat, we more fans we get.
Oh, you're
We're
playing
like-
hard
we're
to
like-
get.
yeah.
We're like the heels of this tournament.
Don't. Yeah, well, you know, whatever.
Anyway,
Anyways, so with that, then, congratulations again to Hapuuma Matata. At 6-4 now, going to temporarily at least put them in a tie for second place in the standings with Chile's Angels. But still 2 more games to play tonight, so these standings are going to see a lot of shifting as we go on here. But going to bid adieu to Team Hapuuma Matata here. Hapoom will make sure that Kevin ends up coming through with the bet, but they have another game tonight to prepare for, so we're
Wait,
gonna
there's a
give
bet?
them some space to get ready for the second
wait,
game.
there's
Yeah,
Wait.
so if you guys had lost, Hapoom would have had to give Twitch Chat his best Kevin impression, and because Kevin lost,
Oh.
Kevin has to give Twitch Chat his best Hapoom impression.
after
He has no
the
idea what
meetings.
the but he has no idea what the Hapoom impression is. So maybe you should like record yourself doing your little like mauled thing, and then Kevin can try to emulate that.
Mimic.
It's
Yeah.
like top lane matters, right?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Just have to put Kevin top and have him play it.
Okay. But anyways, GG to you guys. We're gonna get ready now for game 2 of the night. No breaks on the Do It Big train as we now get ready for Double Jungle Gap versus Pokey Card. So
Okay, wish them luck.
GG, good luck.
All right, GG.
Okay, so both teams already in the lobby here. Let's get some interviews. Hello, Simone. So Arena Thunder going to be the chosen representative for Double Jungle Gap.
Yeah.
Let's see who PokeCard decide to counter with. How are you doing, Simone?
I'm good. I just got back home from the thing that I was doing that I thought would mean that I can't make it to the game, but
Made
I
it
got home
just
in
in time.
yeah.
Nice. Sounds lit. Looks like PokeCard here going to be taking their sweet time. Give
There's
another-
not much for them to counter. I'm not gonna be saying crap.
Uh-huh. Let's see.
Bring in the trash talkers. We need some pregame hype.
Yeah.
I don't give pregame hype. I give polite comments and compliments and diminishing ones for myself. It's what I do.
Damn, Simone, can you be less of a buzzkill on the goddamn interview desk? Jesus Christ.
Hell
Holy
no.
shit.
You need a
We're
buzzkill
playing
sometimes,
fucking League of
Rajay.
Legends. We're supposed to be hype. We're not supposed to fucking sit through a reading of War and Peace. Alright, Simone, get into the fucking spirit of do it big, okay? Let's go.
Do it
Wait.
nice.
Do it
Are
nice.
we buzz killing the lobby? All right,
Can't I just
I've
do
got
it
the
chill?
perfect. I've got the perfect thing for this occasion.
Okay, but hold on, because Sam, you are the red team representative, so we are joined here from PokeCard by Asian SA, the top laner ostensibly for Team PokeCard. But we're going to first hear from Simone, who is hopefully done with her Debbie Downer cosplay. For Double Jungle Gap, coming into this game, you guys have gone through a bit of a roller coaster season, courtesy of some unfortunate roster swaps. But hopefully, we are going to see the final iteration of Double Jungle Gap here represented in this game. How has your guys' progress been incorporating both Ryan, Daddy No Chill, and Gloria, aka Me Easy?
It's not been the easiest.
Mhm.
We've been having our ups and downs for sure, but I think we reached the breakthrough this last week, and we're hopefully going to be able to show a different face this time.
Nice. Yeah. So with these new members, have you guys been trying to like what kind of strategies have you guys been trying to focus on? Are you kind of playing everything, or are you just kind of focusing on one thing?
I
Uh,
can neither confirm nor deny any strategies discussed.
okay, so trying to keep things under wraps. Speaking of wraps, yesterday Andy Land put the wrap on a win over Pokey Card. So for Sam, what is going to be different about this game? What is going to make sure that you guys come out with the win, move to 6-4, and once again force another tie for second place?
I mean, you know how it is in Do It Big. Everyone just like loses to each other, and there's exciting times in the standings. It's like GameStop stock in a lot of ways. It just goes up and down, or Tesla stock if that's what you prefer, up and down, up and down.
Up
But
and down, up and down.
you know,
Indeed.
yeah, we've been trying some new things. Just kind of getting a feel for maybe some alternative things that we might want to try. So
Ooh.
if you see something new and spicy today, don't be entirely surprised, or we could be extremely boring and play Resident Sleeper team composition. But
Yeah,
just
who wants to
be on
see
the
that?
lookout.
Be on the lookout. So, warning here coming in from Pokecard. Let's see what aces they have up their sleeves. Was there anything else you wanted to do or say, Sam? I know you said you maybe wanted to maybe, buzzkill or not. Any shout outs for your legion of adoring fans in Twitch chat?
Well, I don't know about my adoring fans, but from our Discord for Simone, we have a little bit of a poem.
Oh
It goes
no.
like this: See Simone
Oh.
upon the earth. In mid lane, she proves her worth. Her fingers are slow, but always right. She kills you all within team fights. On her back, all games are carried. She hits a spell, and now you're buried. She loves the lane and loves the river, and even in this game delivers.
Oh, okay. So, some hyping up of the opposing team here coming out from Sam. Good sportsmanship. Yeah, let's see if Simone and the rest of Double Jungle Gap can deliver. Would be a big win for them. Would move them to 4-5 on the season. Make sure that they can still squarely contest for the potential top spots, 3 and 4 seeds, etc. But anyways, with that, thank you for that poem, Sam. I'll let you guys both go back to your teams as we get ready for game 2 of the night between Double Jungle Gap and Pokecard.
Thanks for the interview, Roger.
Thank you. Okay, so both teams going to get the ball rolling very, very soon. Chungus, who do you like going into this game?
Um, I think both. I think the Double Jungle Gap has some new strategies that I'm excited to see. But I
Uh-huh.
think Pokey Card has generally been a little more consistent.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like a new wild card versus like a more established team. It's gonna be
Definitely.
exciting.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, the unpredictability makes me want to, excuse me, makes me want to say that this is going to be a pretty even game at the outset. Um, I think the advantages here for double jungle gap are going to come in the form of their top side of the map in their jungle and their top laner. And Simone, I think, has really been working hard, is no slouch in the mid lane either. But meanwhile, for Pokecard, they do have a very strong mid laner in Florzel, who has shown a lot of diversity, I think, in his picks. And we also have a really strong bot lane carry in Dustin, aka PC Puppy Chow. So strengths on opposite sides of the map, in my opinion, for these teams. Okay, we're gonna get loaded into pick and ban here. So let's get the bet ready to go. We'll start that soonish after get some more champions locked in.
Oh.
What do you make of these bans coming out thus far?
A lot of jungle focus seems like trying to keep the XX Pelvis Pablo down. We'll see what the last ban is. But yeah, I think really targeting that strong top and jungle 2v2 that they have.
Yep. We're seeing here, meanwhile, from Double Jungle Gap, going to be the Malzahar and Zillion taken from the hands of Joel, who debuted a new pick last night in their loss. The Corki, I think, showed up big time. So we're going to see if that ends up being an option for Florzel in this game. Has also historically played champions like Vigar and Galio, if memory serves. So we'll see what he decides to go with here.
Well, first pick Leona coming out.
Yeah, what do you make of this Leona pick? Do you like blinding Leona like this?
I think Leona's very counterable, but I don't think that any of the supports play the Thresh. Thresh counters Leona really hard, but we haven't really seen a Thresh come out.
Mm-hmm.
And Nautilus does, but if it's that really small interaction that we've seen, I think only Oli played it.
Mm-hmm.
The Thresh into Leona, so I think it is fine as a counter pick. It has that a lot of CC and very tanky, so it's a good pickup.
Okay. Looks like Seraphine is likely the support counter pick here. Pokey, the support for Pokecard, generally favors these enchanter, really e-girl support. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna get the signature humble donut Elise. Elise, not really a pick that we see a lot in organized play. Due to the snowbally nature of this champion, really wants to get into lanes early and just start snowballing. But we're gonna have to see here if Double Jungle Gap have done their homework and are able to play relatively safely against the gank potential that can come out from the Spider Queen.
Yeah, she's one of the best at diving level 3 top lane on that stacked wave.
Yep.
So really interesting to see what top laner they pick to pair with this Elise.
Yeah, if you are playing Elise like you mentioned, Chungus, I think you really do need to pick strong laners to set up potential dive scenarios. Obviously, Elise with the repel has a really good time juggling tower aggro. And
what? That has to be a placeholder. No one plays Akali, right?
Yep, we're gonna take a look here. Yep, Akali is Anivia. Okay, so the Akali is Anivia, ladies and gentlemen. That is not a Akali. That would be kind of a grief, more so because the champion has been gutted to Kingdom Come than anything. But as it stands here, we are seeing Leona, Ashe, Anivia come out as the first 3 picks here for.
Triple AP.
I don't like this. Yeah, I don't like this. If you are
Pokecard.
Well, yeah, if you're Pokecard, because Verdant Barrier exists now. And if you just rush Verdant Barrier, you never die in a million years to ganks unless you're just severely overextended. But we'll see if Simone has done her homework and is able to recognize the potential coming out from either Elise Morgana or Elise Seraphine.
Elise isn't really a champion. You don't really want a lot of AP with her because she's mainly for her burst. She doesn't do a ton of DPS.
Yep. Yeah, and especially as people start stacking magic resist, it's going to mean that that percentage health damage that she does is going to be worse and worse. I really like the Mundo ban though coming out now from Pokecard. That was going to be a huge pickup potentially for double jungle gap. Mundo obviously likes to really go into AP heavy comps, so that will not be an option here for Pelvis Pablo.
I think the Morgana is really good for lane. I think they pick it because it defers a lot of the long range engage from the Leona ult and the Ashe ult.
Yeah. Now, one thing I think we want to consider here is this might be Seraphine Morgana bot lane, and
Possible.
we could see an 80 mid top coming out from. Okay, nope. Okay. So, right as I say that, going to be Ezreal locked in here for Pokecard. So it's going to be either Ezreal Seraphine or Ezreal Morgana. Which would you rather see in the mid lane, Seraphine or Morgana, if you're Pokecard?
I think probably Seraphine, just because you want that Morgana bot lane. You pick it for so that Ezreal doesn't have to take cleanse.
Ooh, okay, we're gonna see the Kha'Zix come out here. This is a pick that I've really been advocating for. I think if you are double jungle gap, if you are Pelvis Pablo, you haven't reminded anyone about your other champion. Calvin coming into this tournament was more or less a Hecarim Kha'Zix 2-trick, but Kha'Zix takes a lot of skill to pull off, I think, in a competitive organized environment. But I think this is a good game as any. All four of these champions thus far shown by Pokecard are prime targets for a Kha'Zix.
Very squishy. Oh yeah, Kha'Zix is one of those champs that's really feast or famine. Kha'Zix from behind provides very little utility.
We're seeing, I think, of just a pair of feast or famine characters coming out in the jungle from both teams. Okay, so with the comps locked in, the prediction is officially live. This lobby will get remade with Anivia instead of Akali. So for double jungle gap, it will be Leona, Ashe, Akali, Kha'Zix, and Shen. Meanwhile, on the side of Pokecard, it will be Seraphine, Morgana, Ezreal, Nasus, and Elise. So make your bets, put up your channel points. Let's see who ends up coming out as the favorites here. We're seeing a very similar draft, by the way, I think, coming out from Pokecard to their draft against Andyland from last night. They picked 4 very squishy champions with their first 4 picks, and given the option to play a team fighting tank, end up going with Nasus, which I hate. I'm gonna be honest. If you're Seraphine, if you have this comp coming out from Pokecard, you just need a frontline disengage / CC tank, and they don't have that. Nasus doesn't want to get involved in team fights before the 20-25 minute mark, which means that the engages that are going to potentially be coming out from Pokecard are not going to have a whole lot of weight behind it if Shen is there, if Leona can counter engage, but we'll see. We'll see how this goes. If they can find some good picks with Ezreal Poke, with Seraphine Encore, with Morg Binding, then they could have some success while Nasus scales up and becomes a side lane threat. But I personally think that they're going to have a really hard time dealing with a potential Kha'Zix Shen diving into their backline.
Yeah, I think if Kha'Zix plays this correctly, he should be able to 1v9 this game if he goes Dark Harvest, gets a lot of stacks early, and then gets really good flanks off, plays around vision.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Obviously, it's not set in stone just yet, but if we look at this Ashe pick here as well, obviously Morgana with the Black Shield can counter the entire champion, but if Ashe is able to spot an overextended champion who is not does not have Morgana next to them, this Enchanted Crystal Arrow gonna have 4 really good options here. So I gotta keep an eye out here on this Ashe in the hands of Gloria, aka Me Yeezy. Could have the potential for some long-range arrows from downtown to start off a fight. Decent engage options here um, for double jungle gap. Obviously, there is the Kha'Zix with the Shen on top of him going invisible. You have the Leona Solar Flare over the top. And Nivea is a pretty hard champion to dive, but it can be susceptible here with her lack of mobility to the long-range CC coming out from Pokey card. So gotta keep an eye on this Nivea as well. Besides the Kha'Zix, what other things about either of these comps stand out to you, Chungus?
I just think that the double jungle gap has much more. They have a better front line. They have better engage. They have even maybe better DPS. Seraphine's not a super high DPS champion, more
Right.
for the utility, but they don't really have a hyper carry. Ezreal, yeah, he does well with the Essence Dusk build, but he's not going to be doing that much damage to Shen and Leona.
Right.
Unless he gets to the head, yeah. So they have to. Pokecard really has to have the elites play really well early. Or else, yeah, they could have to rely on Nasus late game for a split push. But even then, Shen with the W can block a bunch of Qs if he's trying to get Dove.
Right.
The Nasus, I think it's gonna be more draft favored in double jungle gaps favor. I think.
Indeed. Okay, so about a minute left on the predictions here. Gonna take a look. Oh, wow. Everybody just blew their load on the previous game. Only about 40,000 put up thus far combined, but it's gonna be about 4-3 in favor of double jungle gap. So a pretty even betting thus far. Daltu Op Fan going to be the heaviest bettor for double jungle gap. Meanwhile, Mr. Chunks going to be the largest bettor for Pokecard. Okay, 10 seconds left. Put up your bets. Unfortunately, the timer is going to expire before the spectator delay expires, so I apologize about that. But we are going to get going very, very soon. For anybody that's watching that hasn't been here before, you are watching the Do It Big Invitational Season 2. We have 8 teams here, 40 good friends playing some quality League of Legends. We are currently in the regular season, 14-game regular season, which will move then to a 3-round playoff format. The top 6 teams in the regular season will move on to the playoffs. The first 2 teams will get byes, with the next 4 teams getting seeded into the quarterfinals. Taking a look at these 2 specific teams, Double Jungle Gap currently sitting in 6th place, a game ahead of Team Strag. And meanwhile, for Pokecard here, vying for a very congested middle of the pack standings at 5 and 4. If they come out on top here, we'll move to 6 and 4, along with both Hapuuma Matata and Chili's Angels. So Andyland here looks to be running away with the first seed, but this joust for the second seed is far from over. So keep an eye on that, ladies and gentlemen. As the spectator delay officially expires here, we are going to get ready for Double Jungle Gap versus Pokecard. Let's get ready to rumble. Did you bet, Chungus?
Yeah, I bet on double jungle gap. I bet all my points again, Sag.
All your points? How many points are you at?
I was only at 5K.
Oh man. Wait, did you bet last game?
No. I bet yesterday, and I lost 3K yesterday on who did I lose to?
Sag.
I forgot who I bet on. But I bet on the team that lost it yesterday.
Just never lucky, huh? Okay.
That's the guy I believe this time.
I believe that we will win. I believe.
Did they roll swap? Is Floresville top lane?
Oh, yes, it is actually. So good eye there. I totally stopped paying attention to that. So, as Agent SA alluded to in the pregame, we are going to get a role swap coming out here from Pokecard. Is this going to be a triple rolls? No. Okay, just a double roll swap. It looks like the top lane and the mid lane going to switch here for Pokecard Agent SA on the Seraphine. Not a champion that we've really expected him to play. Gonna go in the mid lane, played by Sam. Meanwhile, it will be Florzel who will take his shot at piloting Nasus up against the Shen. So Nasus did not win yesterday, but can potentially come out with a win tonight. Gonna be some early trades going down. Gonna be heavily in favor of the Shen, courtesy of the Spirit Blade empowered max health autos. And yeah, Nasus now just gonna recall to his tower. Elise here gonna potentially walk into or find Kha'Zix, but it looks like Kha'Zix just gonna go back. Let's keep an eye here as well on the early game pathing for both junglers. Obviously, Elise, a very potent ganker as early as level 3. Kha'Zix, not as strong of an early ganker, but still does have a lot of gank support in both mid and bot lanes, courtesy of Anivia, Ashe, and Leona. And so, if they can find an early level 3 gank before Morgana skills up that black shield, could potentially spell disaster for Pokecard. We're seeing here, interestingly, Elise is going to path away from bot lane. So we're going to potentially be looking for an early gank onto either mid or top to really help snowball this Nasus up against a disadvantageous matchup, I think, in Shen.
Yeah, I think I think at least starting blue is okay because you normally want to play for top side, but Kha'Zix starting top is weird because normally you want to match the Elise just to play for counter gank, but I guess they want to play for bot considering they have a Leona lane, Leona Ashe.
Yep. Yep, as we can already see here, Shen gonna hit level 2 first, gonna taunt towards Nasus, not gonna hit the taunt, but gonna hit a couple of auto attacks there to get the early push. But Nasus won't mind too much because, again, there is a little spider making her way up the water spout towards top lane.
Oh, there it is, top side.
Okay, here we go. That level 3 gank coming in from Elise. Shen already using taunt to go forward here. Let's see if the stun lands. The come shot will not land from Elise, but still going to be a ton of damage coming down. Shen actually not going to look to use the flash. We're going to turn around and actually just get a grass proc as well. So Shen actually more than happy with that to trade in a 2v1. Well, not more than happy, but can walk out here without really blowing too many resources there. Unfortunately, the Elise Cocoon not landing going to mean that that gank is not going to result in a kill. And meanwhile, Kha'Zix is here in the bot lane. Morgana does crucially ding level 3, and there are a healthy amount of minions here with which to play with for Pokecard. So, unfortunately, not going to be able to find the gank timing here. But still, Kha'Zix here does have the farm advantage. Elise, meanwhile, going to go for a repeat gank, but now there's going to be a gank crawl in the mid lane. Rue going to land onto Kha'Zix. Unfortunately, jump not available, and now Shen will be forced to flash away. Dwither is ticking. The cum shot not going to land from Elise, but the repel will. Let's see if the Q is going to be more than enough. Flash coming in from the Nasus will mean that Burst Blood going to go over to the Elise. There is the power of that repeat gank, and Shen actually not going to be able to get away even with the use of Flash. Fix scoreboard. Oh. Sorry, thank you, Mazuza. I did not notice that. Yeah, I also think, honestly, Kha'Zix kind of misplayed mid there. I don't know why he didn't jump. If he jumped, he would have jumped away from the second Seraphine Q, or Seraphine E, which meant that he wouldn't have been rooted. Could have potentially found some damage. But yeah, neither Anivia nor Kha'Zix electing to use Flash there means that the repeat gank coming out from Elise is going to result in first blood in favor of Pokecard. Now Elise going to take away the Gromp here and actually going to land some poke onto Kha'Zix as well. Nivea now going to hop over though, and Kha'Zix going to take at least about half HP. Repel just going to...
What does he flash? I guess they get him anyways.
Yeah. Okay, so Anivia going to be able to pick up the Elise there. So aggressive counter jungling coming out from Elise going to result in her death. And actually, I think that was really, really good. Well played communication by Double Jungle Gap. Kha'Zix obviously could have flashed over the wall to pick up the kill for himself, but ends up handing it over to his mid laner, which means, again, he does have that summoner spell available for a potential repeat gank onto a now flashless Seraphine. Seraphine, though, going to be a little bit wise too. We're going to shade towards the bot side of her lane here. But yeah, we're seeing a little bit of deja vu, I think, if you are Pokey Card. Last night in their game against Andy, hold on, Kha'Zix is now going to come in. The snare is going to land again from Kha'Zix, but now the jump going to come in. A huge wall from Anivia, going to lock this kill up shortly. Flash away from the tower out of the Triumph from Proc, going to make sure that Kha'Zix lives there through the second tower shot. But Kha'Zix popping off here, already 1-0 and 1, going to now cancel out the early advantage accrued by Elise. So, we're seeing here that Snowball potentially coming into play, that 1v9 that Chungus alluded to.
Execute? Oh, it's so close.
Yeah.
The Kha'Zix was executed.
Yeah. Okay, so as we have a bit of a lull here, despite the kill lead in favor of Double Jungle Gap, the gold lead is squarely in favor of Pokecard, courtesy of a whopping CS advantage for Ezreal in the bot lane, currently 51 to 29. But what happened? Oh, I clicked on Seraphine. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have directed camera on. But looks like Shen Stand United here being used to turn around a bot lane fight. Gonna mean that Morgana goes down here. Sorry, I missed that on the action. But yeah, going to mean that the first Stand United used a good effect here as well. And Shen with teleport gonna be able to catch this wave top lane. This is a really weird.
Yeah,
this is a
really
really
is.
weird Shen build. No,
This is... What is he going?
he has plated steel caps, Doran's blade, and longsword.
Oh, this is an Int Dragon. I think they all die for it.
Okay, we have 4 members here starting. The Cocoon gonna land on to Leona, who is still relatively tanky, gonna be picked up here. And yep, alright, so not an Int Dragon thus far, but Seraphine does have Encore here, but not gonna position aggressively for it. Meanwhile, on the top lane, a lot of trades going down between Shen and Nasus. Gonna be the Fury of the Sands now used by Nasus. The Spirit Refuge I don't think is available for Shen. A couple more Qs coming in from Nasus will be able to pick this one up, but looks like without Flash and without too much mana, gonna be okay for Shen. Shen actually still looking, wow, so this Shen comfortable with this fight.
Nasus out of
Now
mana.
gonna taunt into a huge minion wave as well. The Spirit Refuge will be available, though a couple more autos from the Shen gonna be able to pick this one up. Daddy No Chill with No Chill able to pick up the Nasus here. So now 2-1-1 on this Shen. This more aggressive Shen build with both the Doran's Blade and the Longsword gonna result in a solo kill up against this Nasus.
Yeah. I guess he's going for that split push Titanic Hydra build, which I think can match the Nasus if he gets ahead.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So we'll be interesting to see here what the Shen build exactly is. Yeah, I think if, as you said, if the Titanic comes through, it will really help him against the split push coming out from Nasus. But if Ezreal has Monitor turned on, it's an Int Dragon. True. Yeah, that would have been an easy double banana for the Ezreal, but unfortunately, looks like maybe he just didn't have the ability available. I really don't know why you wouldn't use it in that scenario otherwise.
He didn't have 6 at that
Okay,
point.
alright. Hold on, Elise gonna find Anivia here, but Anivia gonna give it as good as she gets it. Gonna land a stun onto Elise. Meanwhile, Shen still has not backed here, but still more than happy to trade up against this Elise, or up against this Nasus, excuse me. Really needs to shop with his 1,000 gold before he really starts taking any more trades, otherwise can potentially be solo killed in return. Meanwhile, gotta keep an eye now on this bot lane. Ashe gonna freshly dingle. Hold on, the Elise Cocoon gonna land, and now gonna be the Encore landing on Anivia as well. The Rebirth passive is available. Not too much burst coming in just yet. But now the Stand United gonna come through. Here we go. The Bite not gonna come through, and now gonna be a Taunt Flash coming in. Oh, Flash Taunt. Oh, what's gonna be the... Okay, so Elise gonna go down here. Gonna be handed over to the Shen. So the Anivia not gonna go down that easy. Will mean that what started as a good play coming out for Pokecard going to be turned around by the Stand United, and now Kha'Zix meanwhile going to potentially roam top here and find a Nasus. Nasus should be able to walk out of here. Has the Fury of the Sands available as well. Ooh, actually turns around and with one auto Q, gonna take about 40% constant HP. Anivia needs to be careful here. Does not have the Rebirth available, but oh my god, doing so much damage. Seraphine going for an Ice Bath. Gonna mean that both mid laners very, very low here, but there's a Kha'Zix lurking around. I don't know if the control ward here spotted it. Seraphine seems to be wise to it, gonna be walking towards his bot side. Which will mean Kha'Zix is not able to find a kill onto the K-pop star. But as it stands, really good early plays coming out from Double Jungle Gap. Despite this, however, Pokey has really done a good job of managing their farm. It's gonna mean here that the gold lead is still relatively close. But look at this Shen. This Shen is just brutalizing this Nasus, and oh my goodness, Kha'Zix is going to come in for the easiest kill of his life. Jumps over the wall, one Vorpal Spike landing onto Nasus, going to be enough. And now this Kha'Zix at 2-0 and 2, going to potentially be looking to snowball this game out of control. Unfortunately for Elise, after that series of repeat ganks in the top lane, got stuffed in the mid lane courtesy of both the Anivia passive Rebirth and the Stand United. Unable to pick up that Anivia meant that Kha'Zix and Shen were able to counter gank with no regard for Elise's life.
It'll pick up for free too also. It's gonna be really big, accelerating top lane.
Indeed. Okay, so we do have an Infernal Dragon here spawning in about a minute. What if Daddy No Chill and Chili 5 are the same person? What makes you think that? I'm curious.
Ever seen them in the same room together?
True. Okay. So with Dragon about 30 seconds away from spawning here, Elise officially on the struggle bus. We'll hit level 7 after counter jungling away these Krugs, but Kha'Zix meanwhile has 2-0 and 2. Unfortunately though, actually not going to be able to pick up. Is he waiting? Okay, is going to be able to pick up the Duskblade Draxar here after waiting for a little bit more gold in base. So is going to have a ton of burst, but still needs to be very, very careful. If he catches an errant cocoon from Elise or walks into the Encore, going to mean that this gold lead means absolutely nothing, and he's going to be squished like the bug he is.
If Leona, I think, started with R there, they catch the Elise right before Dragon. But either way, I think they convert this with Ezreal backing.
Yep. We have not seen the initiation tools of Double Jungle Gap's bot lane being used just yet. Neither Asho nor Solar Flare has been used, but keep an eye out for that. Infernal Dragon going to be taken away, and the Enchanted... Yeah, you don't really want to be ulting at Morgana, because if she has half a finger, she will Black Shield herself. But now, meanwhile, in the top lane, Nasus is going to go very, very aggressive. Let's see if he'll find one. No, he will not. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, and they've been able to find a Seraphine solo kill. So, Arena Thunder finally able to get her hands on the Cryo Phoenix here, reminding the league maybe why you should keep banning it against her. Able to pick up a solo kill onto Asian SA. Now 0-2 and 0. This role swap has not really worked out just yet. And now, gotta be careful. Elise, gotta be very, very squishy. An errant Q from Anivia could spell the end for the Spider Queen, but ends up not being the case. Rift Herald here, gonna get decent value. They needed to drop that before plates expired at 14 minutes. Gonna take all but one plate in the mid lane of Pokecard's Tier 1 turret.
I would have liked to see Kha'Zix go Prowler's Claw this game, actually, with the Ezreal E. Prowler's also the Mythic passive giving lethality. I think has a lot of value here because no one's going to be really building on her other than Nasus. So you're going to be doing true damage to everybody.
Yeah. Okay, so after picking up some early trading power in both the Doran's Blade and the Longsword, Shen now has both the Aegis of the Legion and the Balmy Cinder in the inventory, which signals to the Sunfire build. So not going to potentially see a Titanic Hydra Rush, but still very much on the cards as a secondary item. So got to keep an eye on the Shen build here. These Stand Uniteds have really yielded a lot of value for Double Jungle Gap. We saw it used to pick up a kill on Morgana in the bot lane, to save Morgana, then pick up an Elise in the mid lane. So we'll see where this third Stand United gets used. Solar Flare now going to be used onto the bot lane, and now good play coming out from Double Jungle Gap. The Asho going to go onto the not black shielded Ezreal, but now going to be turned onto the Morgana. There is that aggressive Stand United, and now Ezreal going to be dope under tower. Leona going to flash in with one more auto. Shen, whoa! no! Okay, so the Zenith Blade able to pick that one up, but now Shen is a little bit overextended. There is an Elise here. Let's see if able to find the repel. This fight not gonna be enough, but wait, what was that? Oh, there was a graphical bug there. Shen looked like he just froze in place, but able to take the blast cone over the wall before eating the cocoon means that Shen comes out on top, and now this Nasus is overextended. Good wall coming in from Anivia. Kha'Zix on the lurkout here. Does Bug beat Dog? It looks like it should. But Nasus not going to go down without a fight. Yep, Kha'Zix is able to pick that up eventually. So, good play coming out from Double Jungle Gap across the map. That was almost an oopsies, though. Both Leona and Shen walking away from what they thought was an Ezreal kill meant that Leona had to land that crucial Zenith Blade. But yeah, thus far, really good play coming out from Double Jungle Gap. I don't think the gold lead is as big as you would expect for a 10-2 gold kill lead. Again, courtesy of the CS discrepancy between Ashe and Ezreal. But otherwise, we're seeing that both dragons have been picked up by Double Jungle Gap, so that's a lot of invisible gold in their pockets. Unfortunately for Double Jungle Gap, though, the soul of the game will be Cloud, so not nearly as favorable of a soul as a Ocean Soul, but nevertheless, it is going to mean here that they can also not play for Dragon in some of these upcoming mid-game macro decisions. I think one thing that we're seeing from a lot of teams in this tournament is just this emphasis on Dragon when they don't really need to. Especially when the soul is just not that great. You can use the pressure of Dragon to just get a lot of standing gold on the rest of the map. So we'll see if Double Jungle Gap elect for that option, or if they decide to play for Cloud Soul Point here in about a minute. Anivia here going to walk into Ezreal, or is it Ezreal walking into Anivia? Ezreal going to flash in aggressively. You're going to take so much damage. And now the Stand United over the top. Now Kha'Zix is here. One more Q onto Ezreal. Going to be able to pick that one up. Dark Mighty not going to land either. It means that Elise is going to go down here. The Encore is available. The Solar Flare not going to land just yet, but Seraphine going to be locked up right before he hits the Blast Cone. And Kha'Zix is going to be over the wall here. Ooh, okay, so Anivia going to be able to pick up the K-pop star with the Glacial Storm, and 3 kills now for Double Jungle Gap in the topside jungle of Pokey card. Huge, huge, huge plays coming out from Anivia, and if you are PC Puppy Chow, that was a really aggressive arcane shift, but this 305 Anivia taking Ezreal to within an inch of his life with the Flash Frost there. Yeah, how did Anivia survive? Asks Kodal5, because Shenhold is broken. Yeah.
Big shield.
Yeah, what were you gonna say, Chunkus? Sorry.
The despite it being an 11 kill lead, there's only about a 5k, not even 5k, 4k gold lead. Yep. A lot of kills coming through, but let's see if we can transition into objectives.
Yep. Meanwhile, Nasus is going to be found out against the Shen, but not going to be too much going on. There should just be a wet noodle fight. Actually, Shen going to be on the bad end of some of these trades here, as Nasus does have the Fury of the Sands ticking, and that will just be a solo kill for Nasus. I don't know what that was about for Shen.
Yeah, Shen needs Bramble before he can fight Nasus 1v1.
Yep. Okay, now though, that with that pickup going to mean that with Shen down, could mean a stop to the Dragon Soul stacking of Double Jungle Gap, but they need to be quick here because Shen is spawning with Teleport in 15 seconds. Yep, now going to set their sights on Cloud Dragon here. Going to go down to about 3,500. This should be handed over to Double Jungle Gap, but Kha'Zix is here for a potential steal. And Mr. Super Fingers is not going to be able to find it. Unfortunately, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow landing onto Elise will mean that Elise goes down. Now the Stand United going to come in on the Kha'Zix. Encore going to be used. Going to land onto Anivia, who does have the Rebirth passive, unfortunately, which will mean that Morgana will go down very, very shortly. Seraphine did get picked up here as well. And so, with the Cloud Dragon as the consolation prize, Double Jungle Gap going to be able to pick up 3 kills now and translate this into the objective of their choosing. There are mid towers to be taken. There's a very low top tower. One thing I was about to mention before that team fight started was that this gold lead is a little bit misleading, or the lack of a gold lead is a little bit misleading, because there's still so much standing gold in the form of these top towers, or these tier 1 turrets of Pokecard, that if Double Jungle Gap just look at and breathe on, they will go down. So once these towers start getting picked up, I think we're going to see more of an accurate representation of the lead that Double Jungle Gap have in this game. In that though, hold on, Anivia going to try to find some damage. Oh my god. Morgana going to be forced to flash away there. Yeah, Anivia really coming alive here in this game. Simone maybe giving Pokecard your false sense of security with that Debbie Downer impression. Really feeling herself thus far. 4-0 and 6. Kha'Zix similarly 4-0 and 6. Reminding the rest of the league that yes, Calvin does really like playing this champion. Although maybe not necessarily in the right role. He loves Kha'Zix top for no damn reason. Now gonna go in aggressive here. This Ezreal gonna be dead. Okay, gonna flash away. The Enchanted Crystal gonna land. Seraphine will be the consolation prize, but Ezreal not gonna stun himself using the Enchanted. Oh my god, the True Shot Barrage gonna mean that Ezreal is not gonna buy space for himself. And it's actually going to be Ashe here with the double kill. Me easy landing a good Enchanted Crystal arrow to pick up the Seraphine before picking up the Ezreal there with a couple of auto attacks. And now at 21 minutes, Double Jungle Gap gonna set their sights on Baron.
It's a really early Baron. Do they have? Oh, they have the Nivea TP.
Yep. So Nivea going to be on Nasus duty here, going to be the watchdog up against Susan in the bot lane. Has more than enough wave clear, obviously, with the Glacial Storm, with the Flash Frost, etc. And yeah, this Baron should be taken without any hint of a contest. Well, okay, as I say that, Elise is hovering over the wall here. Need to be careful. They are aware it causes... Oh, Elise gonna flash in very, very early, but... Oh my god, this is just an absolute disaster as they kept deeping the Baron, which will mean the Humble Donut with a clutch Baron steal. And now Shen gonna be overextended here, gonna eat the Encore coming in, and now it's gonna be a lot of damage poured onto this Shen. The Shen's so far away from the rest of his team, and meanwhile in the bot lane, Anivia actually ended up going down to Nasus, who now has a Baron buff as well. So all of a sudden Pokecard roaring to life here. What happened if you are Double Jungle Gap? Oh no, Elise flashed in there with 2000 HP left on Baron, which means all they had to do was stop DPS and kill Elise. But oh no. Well, as it stands here, Pokecard now very much back in the game. Nasus was actually able to dive the Anivia under tower. I don't know how that happened, but it means that now the gold lead is almost, well not almost, but it is relatively evened up here. Only about almost 3,000 for Double Jungle Gap, despite what was seemingly a one-sided game. Shen now going to go aggressive onto Susan. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow not going to land, but there is Leona and Kha'Zix here, and this Nasus does not fury the Sentinel just yet. Soulflare going to land. Kha'Zix going to pick this one up. Okay, going to be handed over to Shen here, but now they got to be careful because there are 3 members here in the top lane for Pokecard. And they do have a Baron up cannon minion here, and this Anivia needs to be careful because... Oh, no. Yeah, Anivia not going to have too much success up against... Now Gloria needs to be careful as well. Ashe going to go very, very low here. Going to be forcing to use the Stand United from Shen. Shen, though, going to go aggressive. Uses the taunt to buffer the Penetrable Cocoon, but now going to eat a lot of damage coming in. A couple more autos. Encore now going to charm in 2 members of Double Jungle Gap, and all of a sudden Pokecard are looking very, very good. Double Jungle Gap, I'm not really sure what is going on in their communications, but surely they must be communicating that they don't need to fight. Shen is not that strong, neither is Ashe. Kha'Zix now though gonna come in. Kha'Zix is very strong, but not gonna auto the Oh my god, what is this play coming out? Oh, he could have just autoed the Elise, which means that Kha'Zix flashed in for no effect. Elise and Ezreal living with a sliver of HP. This is just disastrous. This is just disastrous.
I think that Baron still really tilted them. They need to focus up on their comms.
Yep. Yeah, I think we are definitely seeing a bit of tilt coming out from Double Jungle Gap. This Shen now, he overextended here following Baron, ended up dying 1v3. And then after saving Ashe there behind the tower, not going to pick a wise fight. This Ezreal sitting on 2.5 items. Going to mean that, yep. With this dragon now taken away, yeah, this game is more and more even. 2 dragons apiece now for both teams. And if you are Pokecard here, you will love this Cloud Dragon because it gives your Seraphine, your primary engage tool, just more uptime on the Encore.
Yeah, that's a huge cooldown reduction. I think it's gonna be at max rank only 70 seconds, 70 seconds.
Let's see what the Double Jump Grab decide to do here. Kha'Zix is lurking in the wings here, and there are 3 very squishy members, but as soon as he hops over this wall, he will be spotted by that ward. Meanwhile, Elise actually shading towards the Nas is going to potentially take advantage of what has been a very, very over-aggressive Shen. Has been more than happy to mix it up against Nasus, but Nasus is only going to get stronger and stronger throughout the game. Let's take a look at the stacks here coming out. So far at 405, relatively respectable, if not the greatest, but it's never going to go down. So yeah, Shen, meanwhile, not going to be able to pick up too many more damage items. Needs to, as you mentioned earlier, does have the Bramble Vest, probably going to be building towards some combination of Randuin's, Dead Man's Plate, or Thornmail. But yeah, it's going to mean that NASA is going to have a good time in the 1v1.
Yeah, it's hard for Shen to itemize because they have a lot of magic damage, but he wants to play for that side lane 1v1.
Right.
It's a little awkward. How many stacks is Nasus having? 440. Okay, that's a lot. Like 20 minutes.
Okay, as we take a look around the rest of the lanes here, Anivia, after being 4-0 and 6, has unfortunately died a couple times in the side lanes. I don't think he had, or she had the egg passive. Does have it now, so will be a little bit more durable against the burst coming out from Pokey. They've been really using the rebirth passive to good effect thus far in the game. But without that, we've seen what happens when Anivia does eat some CC coming in from Pokey. Alright, looks like Baron is going to be the emphasis here for Double Jungle Gap. We'll be spawning here in about 30 seconds. Let's see if they can find a pick using this Enchanted Crystal Arrow beforehand, or if they find an engage using the Solar Flare. Shen, meanwhile, going to be split pushing up against Seraphine in the bot lane. Seraphine does have teleport to join any potential incursion, and now Kaz is going to jump over the top, going to be able to slow down the Ezreal. Enchanted Crystal Arrow going to be flashed away from by Ezreal, so good flash, good Enchanted Crystal Arrow usage. Going to be that Ezreal is without a crucial summoner for this upcoming Baron dance. If you're Double Jungle Gap here, though, you got to do something quickly because Nas is going to be pushing away. Is wise enough to back up. Nivea will be able to pick up the wave here and stop the push. Meanwhile, Seraphine and Shen more or less at a standstill. Seraphine has a good amount of AoE wave clear, obviously, between her Q and her E. Meanwhile, Shen does have the Titanic Hydra to continually pressure the wave into this tier 1 bot turret. So will be interesting to see what the option is here. I think if you're Double Jungle Gap, you're waiting for the Ash Arrow cooldown, and then you try again. This time, Ezreal does not have Flash, so it should be a little bit easier. Meanwhile, if you are Pokey, Nas is stacking. As time ticks away here, it's going to mean that the Soul Point Dragon draws ever closer. The third Cloud Dragon of the game is about a minute away from spawning. So if this dance ends up going for longer, okay, now going to be it looks like the call will be to engage onto Nasus, but there is an Elise in tow. Kaz is going to jump in aggressively here, and nope. Okay, so Double Jungle Gap not going to be confident enough. If they had just waited or warded this bush, they would have just caught an Elise rotating in and turned on the Elise instead. But that lack of a ward being dropped as they funneled through that area going to mean that Nasus is going to just scare them away by standing there menacingly.
Is that bot turret down? Is that bug for you, too?
Yeah, so there are 2 turrets down bot lane for Double Jungle Gap, and it's still up for Pokey. Okay. Where is that Ash Arrow going to be used here? Going to have a classic Nayram coming out here, which is going to favor... Oh, okay, long range Ash Arrow going to come in. Black Shield not going to land. Oh, going to be huge engage onto Seraphine here. Going to be that Seraphine that will go down very, very quickly. The Black Shield not going to come down in time, but that is a lot of the engage options available, or used up, excuse me, for Double Jungle Gap. And there is still a Nasus in the top lane, but it's going to be a taunt onto Ezreal now. No follow-up coming in, and only that Shen is going to go down very, very low here. will go down. So Shen over aggressive yet again. The emphasis here going to be on the inhibitor. And Morgana going to go down. Good Zanya's coming out from Anivia. Going to bait Ezreal in potentially. But the cum shot coming in from Elise. Going to almost take down Ashe. Force the flash away. And now Kaz is going to jump in here. Oh my god. So much burst coming out from the Kaz. Is going to be able to pick up the Ezreal. But there is a Nasus now in the top lane. Going to be pushing away. And the recalls are just now getting started by Double Jungle Gap. Nasus is going to retreat here because Ashe is in base. Kha'Zix, meanwhile, going to probably solo out the Cloud Dragon and put them on Soul Point.
Yeah, Shen just a little overeager. I think if he just waited and changed the CC with the team, that they would have been able to pick up that fight a lot more cleanly.
Yep. As it stands here, going to be inhibitor apiece for both teams, but that's going to favor Pokey card here. Side lane inhibitor generally more value and creates more pressure than the mid lane inhibitor. So will be interesting to see here how either team decides to leverage their pushing wave into a advantage in the Baron dance. Let's take a look at some item pickups here as well. Shen finally able to dip for some magic resist. Does have the Spectre's Cowl in the inventory. Kha'Zix sitting on 3 items, 3 lethality items. Has Ghostblade, Edge of Night, and the Dustblade of Drakthar. When he resets, he's going to have a grand old time slicing his way through the comp of Pokecard. Meanwhile, for Nivea, 3 items as well, including a very, very important Zanya's Hourglass that was used to bait out the Ezreal. Meanwhile, on the side of Pokecard here, Seraphine sitting on Luden's into Archangel's Staff, which I feel like is just really not that great. Would like to see Seraphine with a Zanya's Hourglass or a Banshee's Veil to eliminate her as a potential option for either a Solar Flare or an Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Does have the Verdant Barrier and the Fiendish Codex, so we'll have that very, very soon, which is going to narrow down the potential arrow candidates for Double Jungle Gap. Ezreal, meanwhile, sitting on 3.5 items, does have the Ravenous Hydra, Mirror Mana, Divine Sunder Core. Going to mean that this Q-Poke is going to do a lot of damage against really any single member of Double Jungle Gap. Got to keep an eye on this Kha'Zix here. Now level 16, has 3 evolves. From the looks of it, it should be everything except Q, right?
I think he
or everything except
I think
W?
No, he didn't do R.
Oh, he didn't do R. Okay. Hold on. Elise, you're going to be locked up by the Anivia. Enchanted Crystal Arrow over the top. Going to lock up the Elise. Elise was going to go very, very dead very, very soon. Now Kha'Zix going to jump over the wall. Oh my goodness. It is Kha'Zix time, ladies and gentlemen. Going to be bouncing around. Ezreal down as well. So far, 2 members dead. And meanwhile, Nasus is still in the ball lane pushing away. Now going to start his recall because all 5 members here of Double Jungle Gap can threaten the end of the game here. There is going to be a minion wave straggling behind just a little bit, so Seraphine and Nasus going to be the ones to try to hold the gates up against the 5 members of Double Jungle Gap. This Kha'Zix 6-0 and 11 just bugging out in this game. Alright, here we go.
10 seconds.
Encore is available. Morgana and Ezreal will be available very soon. Elise up in 5 seconds. Engage going to be onto Nasus, which is generally favorable. Encore going to be used, which will mean that Kha'Zix is now going to dive in. Going to jump away, though, from the potential Elise Cocoon. As meanwhile, this Nasus still standing up here. Elise going to go very, very low. Going to actually go aggressive onto Anivia. Solar Flare not going to land anything. And now, Double Jungle Gap are in full retreat. Anivia and Leona both going to go down here. Looks like Shen went down as well. What happened to Shen? I'm not sure. But now, oh my goodness, this is disastrous. This is going to be the game. This is the game. Nasus and Seraphine gonna teleport in here. Oh no! Pokecard gonna snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. Elise here just gonna prevent the bases coming in from Ashe and Kha'Zix, and this will be game. Wow, so Pokecard, despite facing upwards of just 10 kill deficits throughout the entire game, able to make one final stand at their Nexus, and with the power of teleport and the Cane, and an exposed top lane inhibitor, going to take the game versus Double Jungle Gap. Holy shit. I am legitimately, like, literally sweating over here, Jungus.
That was a crazy game.
We've seen this not so many times, but we have seen a couple of nail-biter finishes throughout the season. And yet another one going to come out here from Pokey Card. I think just a little bit of an improvement on what they were trying to do against Andyland yesterday. We saw them try this split push comp, but Andyland did have the macro to stand up to it. Unfortunately for double jungle gap, they really messed up there in the mid game, and that turned the tide. But yeah, for the first 15 minutes of that game, it was all double jungle gap. Let's take a look here. They were able to pick up 2 dragons, and then a pretty big... Let's see here. Hold on, where's the turnaround? Yeah, we saw a good use of Shen ultimate here. Good gank initially onto Anivia. So we'll start it from the top. But yeah, wow, that was a massive comeback. So Anivia here gonna be forced to flash, eats the cocoon, goes into egg. But this was just, I think, emblematic of the early game for double jungle gap, using Stand United to really good effect. The flash taunt was not a good effect, but able to pick up the Elise there. As we go through, not just gonna be a bunch of really small pickups here and there that translated into objective wins, but the tide really turned. Let's see what this fight was about. Double kill. Engage onto Ezreal. That's right. Ezreal flashed or engaged onto Anivia. Anivia able to turn it around. Again, that Stand United coming through. Able to lock that one up. Able to pick that one up. And then the Seraphine went down in short order. But let's take a look at what really turned the game here for Pokey Card. So 2 things happen here. Obviously, the Baron gets started by double jungle gap. We didn't see this kill happen. This happened off screen, but Nasus is also eventually able to take out Anivia here in the side lane. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. So Baron here taken to about 2,000. Hold on. Oh, we'll come back. Oh my god. So we're gonna play this a little bit slowly and watch the smites. Okay, so we see here no smite available for... Oh my god, what just happened?
He was up 2 levels. Is this my missed?
Kha'Zix, I don't think had smite. Oh wait, no,
Oh,
he
he
did.
didn't?
Does he? Oh, he did. Okay.
Yeah, he did.
Okay. I'm gonna play this in slow-mo because this is really unfortunate.
Yeah, this is what kind of decided the game. They were up so much. If they secure this Baron, it's gonna be like 10k gold lead. They take all in.
Keep an eye on the Elise here. Down to
Yeah,
2,000.
they don't have vision on that side. The Shen needs to be walking.
Oh, the Kha'Zix smited so early. So early. Brought it down to about 250. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, let's see the dog run down the bird. Does have flash. So, gonna use the Fury of the Sands here after the Q lands, and the wall, meanwhile, not gonna be able to separate anything because they were not expecting the flash coming in from Nasus. And not able to walk into the safety of her tower means that Nasus all of a sudden is like, hey, I have a Baron buff now. Able to pick up the turret here in the bot lane, and then, yeah, it just started turning in the favor of Pokeyard. I'm gonna be honest, I think this is really over-aggressive play coming out from the Shen. Another example of this here. Definitely want to play with the rest of your team, but yeah, not gonna win a 2v3 anytime soon. Especially without the most fed member of your team in Kha'Zix. Imagine if Shen was on top of this Kha'Zix here. And this is a bit of a misplay as well. The auto not landing onto Elise means no resets available. Just sadness.
What is he smite?
Yeah, or the smite for that matter. But let's take a look at the final game-winning play coming out. The pair of Nasus and Seraphine tasked here with holding up the gate. Shen gonna taunt into the Nasus immediately, but no real focus onto this turret. And yeah, the power of Nasus able to Q away this Shen, and no focus coming out means that the respawning members of Pokey Card here gonna have a lot of success, able to pick up the Leona, able to pick up the Anivia, and after that it's lights out, both Seraphine and Nasus with teleports. I'm gonna TP in. Gee. Wow.
Yeah, they're winning team fights. It's so tragic. I think if they do Baron there, they could have just stalled it out and ended together.
Okay, so let's take a look here then at the damage charts when all is said and done. Oh, okay, I can't because I am in skip waiting for stats screen.
I got that too.
Smoge. So, Riot Games, fix your shit. God damn it. We are not going to see the damage charts, unfortunately. Maybe if we get the post-game interviews here, we can see them. We can ask the participants. So give us one moment here to drag up. I think I want to hear from Joel, obviously, on the Nasus. And we'll hear from Ezreal as well. Okay, so congratulations to PokeCard, to both Joel and Dustin joining me on the post-game desk. That was an absolute banger, gentlemen. Holy shit. So let's start off here with the role swap that was teased by Sam in the pregame. What made you guys decide to swap mid and top, especially on a champion that Sam has already shown a proclivity for playing?
Well, we just wanted to bait them so they would think it was going to be Sam on Nasus, but the whole time it was going to be me on Nasus.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give it a go. I mean, Nasus is my most played champion of all time, but I haven't played him
really?
as much in recent seasons, so wanted to bring it out. And unfortunately, I got kind of wrecked in lane, but that's kind of how Nasus goes. So
Right.
I'm glad it was able to be recoverable by the end of the game.
Was there any chance that you guys have the damage chart still up?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were they like at the end of that game?
Shin had the most in the game. Actually, no, Shin had 200 less than Dustin at 20, both at 26k.
Wow. Okay.
And then Kha'Zix 20,000, and Nivea 18,000. I had 15,000, and then everyone else had pretty low damage.
Yeah.
9,000 or less.
Makes sense, but the most important statistic in this game obviously is going to be damage to structures. Nasus doing so much work in both the bot and top lanes before picking up that win. Meanwhile, for Dustin, I think while the game was going south for your team, you were really the bright spot, able to race out to a pretty significant CS lead up against the Ezreal to keep that gold lead relatively close. Walk us through what it was like to play Ezreal against that comp, especially up against the terror that was that Kha'Zix.
I mean, I had no idea how to handle Kha'Zix. He was just invisible, and I couldn't land any skill shot on him. But I mean, honestly, it felt like a largely PvE match from my perspective, where it was just killing minions and allocating lane pressure. Which I'm okay because we got the dub, but Jesus, what a game! I have no words.
Yeah. What were the comms like at the end there?
Disbelief, I would say.
We were pretty shocked that we were able to survive that push there at the end, and we both had 2P up, so we said we're going, and we ended it.
We said that's game when we all died mid. We were pretty sure we lost, and then somehow Joel and Sam just held on long enough. I don't know.
Yeah, no, that was wild.
I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah. It's a recipe for a heart attack for sure if you're in that game. But doing it big. Our Pokey
yeah, we did
here.
it for the viewers. We wanted an exciting game, you know.
Of course.
Did it big.
Okay. But yeah, so again, congratulations to the pair of you. Congratulations to your team. It's going to mean that PokeCard are going to move to 6-4, joining both Chili's Angels and Hapuuma Matata. So we're gonna have to look at the tiebreaker situations there. But yeah, you guys gotta hold your heads high after that massive comeback. But meanwhile, going to now get ready for the third game of the night between Don't Worry We Scale and Team Strag. So again, thank you to Joel and Dustin for coming up.
Yeah, thank you, Roger.
Have a good one. Okay.
You too.
All right. Going to now finally hand out those channel points. So, who'd you put your money on, Chungus?
Sag.
Sag. Oh, bad. So the underdogs here in Pokey Card are going to come out on top. They were 60-40 underdogs, so 3-2. Going to be a lot of money here for Chunks and company. Congratulations to those of you who bet on PokeCard. Okay. I am going to grab a fucking drink because I have been talking more or less nonstop for the better part of 2 hours. So I will be right back, and then we are going to get ready for game 3 of the night. Hold on. I'm gonna make sure they get in here, Chungus. Okay, there you go. Chungus, you should see the invite. Alright, cool. Feel free to regale Twitch chat with the story or commentary of your choice, Chungus, while I quickly grab a drink.
What does Twitch chat want to listen to? Let's see what Twitch chat's saying. What is this copy paste? Or what is this picture? Oh, it's a girl. That was quick. Oh.
Okay, I am back. So, with both teams in here, gonna check in real quickly. Or I guess I'll just get the interview candidates, and then we're gonna get going for game 3 here between Don't Worry We Scale and Team Strag.
Ooh woo, Roger. Ooh woo.
Ooh woo. All right, gonna get a duel of the captains once again. So representing Don't Worry We Scale, we have Mark Jess, aka Jesse. Meanwhile, as always, we have Kevin joining us on the interview desk. Anuhia repping Team Strag. Okay.
Woo!
So, coming into this game, this is a bottom of the table clash between these two teams. Team Strag at 2 and 6, Don't Worry We Scale at 1 and 7, but not out of the game yet by any stretch of the imagination. So both teams really need a victory in this game to keep themselves in the playoff hunt. Obviously, it helps that your next closest competitor in Double Jungle Gap did just end up taking the L. So for Don't Worry We Scale, we saw you in your first game of the double round or second round robin come up with a role swap. Is this something that we're going to see continue here in this game, Jesse, or was that just a one-game trial?
No, I think it's probably going to be continuing going forward. So, yeah.
All right. And how has this swap been working out for you guys thus far?
I think it's been good actually. I think we've kind of opened up some new compositions. We've put some good options in both in the bottom lane and in the top lane. And actually, I'm gonna loop around. My understanding is that there also have been some role swaps going on Strag.
Yeah, we saw that. So we'll get to that. But what's going to be the difference for you guys in this game? You guys were able to pick up your only game of the season over Team Strag in your guys' first matchup. So what's going to be the key for you guys to repeat history here, do you think?
I think a lot of it just comes down to the comfort and experience of our lanes. Mason being a pretty experienced former top laner, and myself being primarily a bottom lane player. So
I think setting up the lanes in this way kind of just places our experience in the right place, and I think we have a better overall, higher quality game as a result.
All right, so leaning on experience going to be the name for Don't Worry We Scale. Meanwhile, for Team Strag, unfortunately, you guys did take the L in Game 1 of the night versus Hapuuma Matata. But we know that the leadership of Kevin is undefeatable. I'm sure spirits are still high. For Team Strag, we did see that role swap that Jesse alluded to, with Alex and Kato swapping jungle and top. Was that a spur of the moment decision, or is it something that you guys are also looking to potentially try through the rest of your games this season?
You know what? That is an excellent question, Roger. We're always out here trying new things up and down, all around. You already know the biz. I love that. I'm very flattered that Jesse has such a keen eye on us. You know, I'm very flattered, Jesse. You know, you can text me later. But we're definitely having fun here. We're trying out some new things. We're keeping it funky fresh, and you already know I'm here to give you a show. I'm gonna give you a spectacle. And Jesse, you are no different than that, okay?
Okay, Jesse,
Sounds
okay.
good, sounds good.
You better respond. This is a call and response. You gotta respond back to me. What do you
yeah.
say?
Oh, shit. You know, I dare
He's
say
a
our
little,
role
he's a little
swap.
scared. I could feel the little jitters, you know, like, and you know, Roger, even though you keep saying unfortunately, I'm telling you, we always gonna come back bigger and better, better than ever. So you can't clock this anywhere. No cows up in this gig.
Indeed. Okay, do we want to put a similar bet on this game, Kevin? I think you're already down one captain's bet to Hapuuma. Do you want to
Give me all the
challenge?
bets. You already know. I'm gonna go all around, up and down, upside down.
Okay, so Jesse, you have been issued the Cacao challenge by Kevin, which will mean that if you choose to accept, you will have to give Twitch chat your best Cacao in defeat. Would you like to accept this challenge and pose a similar stake for Kevin should you come out on top?
I don't eat steak though. I'm a vegetarian. Okay, Jesse, keep that in mind.
Rock-ha-ha-cow. I'm in. I'm in all the way.
Okay.
Let's go.
So what's going to be the counter bet then?
Oh, so if I lose, I need to rock-ha-ha-cow.
Right.
If Kevin loses,
Right.
ooh.
That'll be good. Give it to me, Jesse. You know, I've been waiting. He can't come up with anything good anyway. He's not that good, so it's okay.
I was not expecting this, to be honest. I did not realize there was going to be anything on the line.
Okay, it's okay.
see?
Your mid
He can't do
laner
things
here.
impromptu.
Your mid laner here is coming through. Petros asks if we can hear Kevin's aura.
Janice, I love you.
Ooh.
So can we? If you end up taking the L, Kevin, will you give us your best aura?
I don't know what an aura is, but I'm a aura up doll. You already know. This for you, Janice, Miss Peach Rose. I go to the boba stop and I say, can I get a large peach rose milk tea?
Okay. So that will be the bet. Maybe we'll send you a YouTube clip of what you should be, what it should sound like. But yeah, it looks like the captain's bets have been issued yet again. Let's see who ends up saying what after this game. With that, I'll let the pair of you go back to your teams as we get ready for the third and final game of the night between Don't Worry We Scale and Strag.
Sure. Good luck, Jesse.
Best of luck, Kevin.
Bye.
All right. Always a treat. Always a treat. Okay. Now, coming into this game, Chungus, let's be frank here. Both teams have really not done so well in the season thus far, but given this contest between these two teams, who do you favor? Caster Curse.
Whoever I pick is gonna lose, so they probably don't want me to pick them. I'll see the draft. I'll see the draft.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about both of these teams. I think for Don't Worry We Scale, it's been a season of almosts. Despite their record, I think that they've generally given most teams and most games a very competitive feel, but just lacking some conviction and some crucial decision making at critical points in the game has really seen them fall short when the game is at its most crucial moments. And so they've been trying to iron it out to their credit. I really hope that they're a little bit more decisive with their calls, with their shot calling, and maybe that can turn into a win here and start them on the beginning of a playoff push. Meanwhile, for Don't Worry, for Team Strag, excuse me, I think the primary word that comes to mind when I think of Team Strag is Fiesta. Kevin is about a good time. I think his team is generally about a good time, but it's not necessarily the most organized of times. We've seen strong individual plays come out from various players throughout the season, but it hasn't really lined up with everybody else's performances. In their 2 wins this season, the first game was really headlined by that 13 feast stack Cho'Gath last hitting the Nexus with his final auto attack to pick up a win over Andyland. And then in their second win, it was really the Jin and Zyra show in the bot lane versus Hapuuma Matata. But when they don't have that pop off coming in from one of their players, it seems like they're not particularly organized about what to do next. So we really hope here that they can figure it out and play more as a team, because I really do believe they have strong individual players. All right, let's take a look here at the picks and bans. Seraphine going to be an obvious ban against Peach Rose. That was really the catalyst for Don't Worry We Scale's win over Team Strag. Strag just filed in to the K-pop concerts pretty much on cooldown, which will mean that Peach Rose is going to get her hands on her Lux, which is another favorite of Janice. Speaking of favorites, Rel going to be in the hands of Soline, aka Eve. We've seen her do decently well on her engaged champions between Rel and Leona. So hopefully, again, they are on the same page here with their engages and dives. All right. Meanwhile, if we take a look here at Strag's selections thus far, Viego is a comfort pick, I think, for Kato. We have the Miss Killer Cassiopeia, and Zyra, as we alluded to earlier, is a favorite of Anuhia, aka Kevin. So that was banned away from him in their first game, but going to be left up as an option in their second game of the night.
Oh no, they banned the Veigar. I would leave up the Veigar. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Cassio is much stronger against a low range team.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of DPS. And like him with 6 items because she doesn't have to go boost. Huge damage.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're gonna get the prediction started very soon, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't forgotten, but give us some time here and give yourselves some time to appraise these comps. Looks like Ashe and Zyra are going to be the throwback to the Cloud9 bot lane of yesteryear. Has a lot of bully potential, especially if not ganked early on. Camille going to be the lock here for... Ooh, wait, what?
Is it mid? Monica's a mid, or is a placeholder?
Oh, alright, let's take a look. Mord is misfortune. Mord is misfortune. Yep, that is a placeholder. I was going to say that was pretty curious otherwise. So we do have placeholder pick in place here. And ooh, a second game of Kha'Zix potentially. I did not think that... is this the top lane Rammus?
No, they didn't pick a jungler. I think it's Viego top.
No, Viego can jungle, right? So... Well, we'll see. We'll see. It could be Rammus jungle and Viego top. It could be Rammus top and Viego jungle. The only reason I say it might be Rammus top is because we haven't seen Algae play Viego yet this season. So if they go back to their original roles, then Kato would be jungling on the Viego, and we might see a surprise Rammus top. But yeah, so we had a placeholder pick there, which is why we're remaking the lobby. That was a misfortune, so it will be misfortune Rel in the bot lane up against Ashe Zyra. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, it should almost certainly be Cassiopeia versus Lux. The toss up here is probably going to be whether it's going to be Viego or Rammus top. I think it'd be really funny. It's probably going to be Rammus jungle, in all honesty, but we'll see. Anyways, a second consecutive game of Kha'Zix locked in here, this time by Kinuhara. So we'll see if he can replicate the success that Calvin had in the previous game. But taking a look at these comps, I think he's going to be hard pressed to get into this comp compared to the last. Ashe and Zyra can do a lot to slow your advance, and then if you do jump in, there's always the threat of the Tangle Thorns there to knock you up and prevent you from getting those resets. Okay, with both comps being locked in here, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to put up your channel points once again. Let's see if you are the smart investor, if you held GameStop, because you might come away with some channel points here. So these are your comps. We could potentially again see the repeat of that role swap here, with Algae going into jungle on Rammus, Kato in the top lane on Viego. I kind of like this Rammus pick, Chungus.
Yeah. I think Rammus is strong, that's why he's getting nerfed, and he's strong, really strong in the situations that he is picked in, which is a lot of AD, and like sitting on the Kha'Zix, I think, when he tries to go in. I think it's going to be, I do like the pick, yeah.
Yeah, the only magic damage really coming out from Don't Worry We Scale is going to be in the hands of this Lux, and generally speaking, Lux is not going to be wanting to hit Rammus with her skill shots, nor is she going to have the burst to really chew through Rammus's HP bar. And Rammus, with the defensive power stance or whatever it's called, does get a good amount of magic resist as well. It's also going to mean, if we take a look at these lanes, Lux and Misfortune are both relatively immobile, so Rammus with the Powerball should have some success coordinating ganks. Has a lot of potential gank setup in both Ashe and Zyra in the bot lane. In mid lane, if Cassiopeia can hit 6 without too much incident, could also mean a flash petrifying gaze will pay dividends for Rammus as well. Will be interesting to keep an eye on how this Viego does against Camille. My rudimentary knowledge of top lane tells me that Viego is generally pretty weak early, so Camille should have a good time. But we saw in the previous game, even when Kato did have the quote-unquote champion advantage in the Darius, ended up not having a good time up against the Jax. So we'll see here. I don't, in all honesty, I don't think Mason is as talented of a top laner as Hapuuma, which is no knock on Mason, it's just more of a credit to Hapuuma than anything. So we'll see how this Camille versus Viego matchup goes. So which comp do you like more, Chungus?
I like Strag's comp better. They just have a lot of Zyra. Ashe is a really strong lane and a lot of CC. They have the Cassio and the Viego, who are really strong late game scaling, and they have a really good front line with the Rammus into almost full AD.
Yeah, I really like what you said there with the scaling option. I think the scaling potential coming in from Zyra, Cass, Viego is crazy. Ashe is no slouch herself, so we really have to keep an eye on that and see if they can get to those power spikes before the game is out of hand. Meanwhile, if you are, don't worry, we scale. How do you think you generally want to navigate this game in order to find success?
I think they do have a lot of AoE disruption. You have your Camille all into backline as well as your Rel engage. And if they can get flanks with Camille and Kha'Zix and pick off the backline, I think that's a good way. They just kind of hit them from multiple angles and sow chaos so that they can't really set up that zone control.
Yeah, I 1000% agree. If they can find flanks from Kha'Zix and Camille, frontal engage from Rel, it is going to mean that they will potentially just fold in on themselves here. So we are going to load into the third and final game of the night, ladies and gentlemen, between Team Strag and Don't Worry, We Scale. Both teams really, really need a win here if they want to stay in the playoff picture. Even if they do lose, still not mathematically eliminated, but they are going to be facing a massive uphill battle. So result here going to do a lot for their spirits potentially. All right. As we load into the game, let's see what the starts are going to be from both sides. I'm going to make sure I have my objective timer on. Going to make sure my champions are oriented correctly so Twitch chat doesn't maul at me. We are seeing the Viego in the top lane. Okay, so.
Oh, it's a new Zyra skin.
Oh, it is the new Zyra skin, the albino Zyra. I really don't like that skin line if I'm being honest.
Oh, that's true.
And yep, we get an immediate pause coming in from Miss Killer, courtesy of his $15,000 iMac that has problems playing League of Legends. This guy has more technical difficulties than I've ever seen in my life.
What?
I swear to God, it's a new thing every single day with this guy. Knock, just bite the bullet, build yourself a gaming PC, and never have to deal with your mouse just randomly chimping out in the middle of a game again.
Wait, is he using the magic mouse? No way, right?
I don't think so. I don't know what he's using, but all I know is that he just always has... If it's not mouse problems, it's like he can't stream on Discord. It's that his, like, I don't know. There's just so many issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mac Gaming, KW.
Mac Gaming. Okay. Looks to be standard starts here from both teams after a hint of an invade coming out from Strag. First damage of the game going to go over to Lux. Lands a light Lucent Singularity onto Kha'Zix, who's now going to be found out by the Kha'Zix. So Cassiopeia, I don't think has time to reset here.
Roger, not in the game.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Whoops! I'm trolling. Okay, so
Yeah,
Twitch chat yet again finds a chance to mauled. I'm just kidding. I fucked up there big time. So there we go. This is the game, ladies and gentlemen, that you were promised. Good thing I have beat out here reminding me. I remember when I accidentally streamed my fucking client for like half a game during the open runs. That was fun. But yeah. Okay, so don't worry, you know, I was able to accurately describe what was happening in the game, which was that Cassiopeia ate some early harass, which means that Cassiopeia is back to lane late. Not courtesy of her mouse, but rather because of some poke. Alright. Who do you like in this mid game or mid lane matchup, Chungus?
I think Lux outranges and outpokes Cassio early. Cassio needs to really have good spacing and good movement if she wants to win the lane.
And what about bot lane? Who do you favor? Well, now speaking of good movement, Cassiopeia gonna dodge out from the life binding here, so it's gonna take Lux about half HP. Good stuff. Sorry, go ahead.
I think Ash Zyro should win that lane. Double ranged early. Rel is just super tanky, but if they can space it properly, they should win bot lane. Ashe Zyra is that traditional bot lane that they always run at World. They I think ran it season 8 a lot at Worlds. It just has so much poke and so much CC.
Yeah. Gotta keep an eye here on the early game pathing as well. Rammus and Kha'Zix both pathing up towards top lane. Meanwhile, gonna be a trade coming out here between Camille and Viego, both taking about half HP here. Viego does land the, what's the W called? The tactical sweep to get some healing back in. Viego with his Q passive should also be able to get some lifesteal as well from just hitting minions and such. And so, yeah, early returns here show that Viego is in the CS lead up against Camille, which generally I think is good news for, obviously, Viego because he has a really good power curve as he scales up into the game. Meanwhile, Camille actually going to take yet another heavy trade, so Viego actually had to be bullying Camille a little bit. Able to proc Conquerors consistently here. Meanwhile, Camille ended up going with Grasp, and now Kaz is going to walk into Rammus here. Overextended. Camille on the way. Now going to jump towards Viego, but now the hookshot going to land onto Viego. Going to be very, very low. Teleport going to come in from Cassiopeia, but now Rammus is on the run. Going to go down here very, very shortly. Double kill for Viego. Now Cassiopeia is going to flash in, but now should have too much damage, and now Kaz is going to be able to pick up a triple kill very, very soon here. Oh no! Okay, so don't worry, we scale gonna come alive here. Triple kill for the Kha'Zix. It is the night of Kha'Zix, ladies and gentlemen. Kinyu Hada here gonna pick up a triple kill after getting initiated on first. Rammus able to find him in the tri-bush, but Kha'Zix able to jump out, and Camille and Kha'Zix were able to converge onto the isolated Viego, turn around onto Rammus. Cassiopeia teleported in, but by then all her teammates were dead, and Lux was able to roam up there to shield what would have been a potentially dead Bug, giving Kha'Zix the oomph to pick up that triple kill. Big plays coming out from Don't Worry We Scale in the early game. And with those 3 assists now, look at Camille doing so much damage. Does have the Sheen in the inventory up against this Viego. And meanwhile, for Kha'Zix, you're going to bully Rammus off of the crab as well. So going to be a double crab for Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix just rolling away with this early game, despite Rammus being the actual role champion.
Yeah, Cassio burns flash there too, and it's a pretty easy repeat with the CC from Lux and Kha'Zix still having flash.
I agree. Yep. In the top lane, Viego needs to be careful here. Hookshot going to land onto Viego. Now going to go very, very low. The Hextech Protocol, 2 more autos going to be, yep. So Camille going to be able to pick that one up. Going to be a solo kill now for Mason up in this top lane. I think Camille generally has a good time in versus Viego anyways, but anybody's going to have a good time if they participate in 3 kills in the early game. So now going to translate to the first dragon of the game going over to Kha'Zix as well. And if you're Rammus, you're really, really sad about how this game is going, because you are the strong early game ganker, but your first foray into the map has been turned around. Flip at Zyra. There you go. Thank you. Sorry. Look at, holy shit. Camille's level 7. Viego just dinged level 5. Obviously, Viego here able to pick up a big minion wave under his turret. So we'll be able to scale back up a little bit. But yeah, this Camille is just out of control now. So we'll see what Don't Worry We Scale decide to do with this massive top lane lead. Could obviously make for some interesting teleport plays up against the relatively immobile bot lane that is Ashe Zyra. Meanwhile, for Kha'Zix as well. Oh, hold on. Gonna be a Gage. Petrified Gage gonna land onto Kha'Zix. 1 more Twin Bangs over the top. Gonna pick that one up. So shutdown for Cassiopeia. That miasma gonna do so much work. Gonna prevent Kha'Zix from jumping out before eating so many Twin Fangs. And a good pickup here for Cassiopeia in the mid lane onto the jungler of Don't Worry We Scale. Reminding us why we ban Cassiopeia away from Mistkiller, aka Noctran. Good play coming out from Noc. Gonna give his team a breath of relief here. But now this breath of relief is going to potentially. Oh, actually, Viego gonna ult in. I don't know if that was the play because now the Hextech Protocol gonna be used. And oh, good night. Hextech ultimating him. Excuse me. But yeah, Camille gonna pick up yet another solo kill. This Viego now 0 and 3. Camille now 2-0 and 3. Going to be running away with this top lane now. Goodness gracious.
Oh, that I missed. Okay, flash. Ash is gonna have to flash here too.
Okay, now in the bot lane, looks like Ash did not have to use flash, did use the heal there. Kha'Zix coming in for a gank. After that triple kill in the top lane, Kha'Zix unfortunately has died in the mid lane and has otherwise not able to find too much success. Did force the heal there out of Ash as well as the flash from Zyra, but still trying to farm up here. Really needs level 6 with the stealth. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, ooh, Light Mining gonna land onto Cassiopeia. A couple more autos from Lux will be able to lock that up, but Cassia gonna slither back to the safety of her turret.
Oh, Kha'Zix evolves E first. I don't think I've ever seen a Kha'Zix evolve wings first.
Do you like that decision from Kha'Zix to evolve Leap first?
I think I think you mainly take E if you're strong enough. You think you can have a bunch of resets and fights, but I think W or Q, probably W actually might be the best.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, obviously W has a good amount of poke potential up against Ashe, Zyra, you know, Cassiopeia, Viego. But yeah, Leap going to indicate here that Kha'Zix really wants to look for resets in these team fights. I feel like, you know, I don't play Kha'Zix that much, but I feel like the meta is you want to get Leap as your second evolve, and you want your first evolve to help you do more damage, either your Q evolve or your W evolve. But yep, Kha'Zix is going to be looking for Reset City here. So we'll keep an eye on whether this bug is able to fly around and pick up the members of Strag. Another life binding here, going to be followed up by the final spark from Lux. Petrifying Day is going to be moved away. Look at the movement coming out from this Lux. Good stuff from Peach Rose to dodge out from what could have been a potential reversal from Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia now going to be forced back, and as you mentioned, Chungus, that range advantage for Lux is showing really in these mid lane trades. Lux has found a couple of solid light binding final spark combos already.
Oh, misconnect.
Meanwhile, in the bot lane, I think, honestly, Miss Fortune, Rel have done a really good job of holding up to Ashe Zyra. Again, you mentioned it, Ashe Zyra should generally be the bullies here, but Miss Fortune going to be pretty much even on CS after picking up these minions underneath her own tower. So yeah, 82 to 83. Means that, you know, if they can get another gank coming in from Kha'Zix here onto Zyra, this Rel initiation can be massive. Kha'Zix is on Krugs here, and the Tribe Rush is control warded, so let's see if they decide to go for it here. Come on, let's go.
Flash.
Here we go.
Flash Rel.
Alright, gonna go in here. Zyra gonna be overextended. Bullet time gonna be interrupted by the knock-in from... Oh, that's tragic, but Ashe gonna go down here. But the teleport coming in from Viego. Now gonna be eventual reset city for Viego. Gonna knock up Kha'Zix with the ghost from... And now the teleport gonna come in from Kha'Zix, or from Cassiopeia as well. But Lux gonna be teleporting in to pick up the trade kill onto Viego. Now the third teleport gonna come in courtesy of... Or sorry, the fourth teleport gonna come in courtesy of Camille. The Hextech ultimatum gonna be able to lock up Viego there. So yet another win for Don't Worry We Scale.
Classic 10 men in the bot lane.
Yeah, that was a party in the bot lane. Started off by the Kha'Zix there. Rel able to get a decent engage onto the Ashe, who went down even through Flash. Unfortunately, unable to pick up the Zyra. The Misfortune bullet time was just a little bit unfortunate positioning-wise. Able to get knocked up by the Tangle Thorns, which meant that there was approximately 1 tick of damage coming out. With a couple more ticks, that would have been a dead Zyra as well. We are going to teleport down to pick up the Rel before the Lux and Camille teleports, able to pick up the Cassiopeia. Okay, so with that team fight win, don't worry, we scale here are going to be able to pick up the first 2 dragons in the game. Going to put them in pole position here to claim a potential Ocean Soul, which will do wonders up against this poke coming in from Ashe and Zyra. Obviously, never bad to have extra regen. Meanwhile, for Strag, how do you think they should get back into this game, Chungus?
Honestly, I think they scale better. They have the Casio, but they would have to go really late game. I think right now just try to slow down the game. Try to play cross map. You don't really win skirmishes or 5v5, so try to play cross map, pick up what you can, and slow the game down to scale.
Okay, speaking of, they're not going to slow down the game here because they are going to be able to pick up this Rel. Good engage coming in from this. Oh, no, actually, Rel able to jump over here, get a decent amount of shield, but okay. Rammus with the second iteration of the Powerball. Oh my god, this Rel is living for so long. Eventually going to go down. Now the Cassiopeia is going to find his way onto the Misfortune as well, knocked up by the Tanglethorns, but on the back end there, Zyra did go down to the Misfortune. So, ends up still being a favorable 2-for-1 trade in favor of Team Strag. Meanwhile, in the top lane, though, it's going to be canceled out by the successful dive coming in from Kha'Zix and Camille onto Viego. This Viego's really not had a good time in this game. Now 1 and 5 going to have his turret go down as well. I think there were 4 plates picked up. Unfortunately, the turret went down at about 1402, which means the 5th turret plate goal did not go out. But don't worry, we scale. Not going to be too upset at almost 4.5 or more than at 4,500 gold lead now, along with 2 dragons, going to be comfortably in the lead here as we roll into the mid game.
Eclipse Kha'Zix coming out here.
Okay, yep. So Kha'Zix able to base here for his Mythic. Lux with the Ludens and Cassio with the Leandries. Ashe has a Kraken Slayer as well, so those are all the Mythics in the game. Camille now able to pick up a Triforce. I personally think Sunder is probably the play this game, but Triforce will help Camille out in a split push scenario. The attack speed passive coming in from the Mythic bonus going to help her split push towers just that little bit faster. Meanwhile, MF is walking up very comfortably against the Zyra. Got to be aware of a potential Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Rue going to land now onto Kha'Zix, going to be followed by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Oh, the Bramble Thorns, though, not going to be enough. But the Kha'Zix now going to jump out. There was a Cassiopeia waiting there as well, which means Kha'Zix is going to jump. Oh, and now going to be a flash engage here from the Rammus. Powerball going to land onto Lux. Viego is here as well. This will be a very, very dead Lux very, very soon. There it is. Camille going to come in now, but got to be careful because now it's a 3v1. Petrifying Cage is going to land. Viego going to be able to get a reset as well onto that one. Shut down on Camille. Going to be handed over to Cassiopeia. I do believe that was a double kill for Cassiopeia. So, good play coming out. Actually, no, that was not a double kill. There's no way that was the case. But 1 kill handed over to Viego, 1 kill handed over to Cassiopeia, including a crucial shutdown onto the Camille. Going to get Strag back into this game a little bit. Unfortunately for them, Ocean Dragon is still 30 seconds away from spawning, which will mean Lux and Camille are going to be alive for a potential soul point fight. Keep an eye here on the cooldown, on the teleport cooldowns here of every single player. The TP cooldowns are synced basically for all 4. We have Cassiopeia and Viego for Team Strag, and we have Camille and Lux for Don't Worry We Scale. Meanwhile, oh no, Lux actually going to overextend here, try to find some damage onto Viego. Going to be potentially found out by Rammus, but no, looks like Cassiopeia going to get the brunt of the damage early on. Rammus now going to be overextended. Komura Auto's going to be able to pick that one up, but Ashe going to be able to slow down the progress here. Now going to be a huge double binding landing onto Zyra. Ashe going to flash away, but towards the Kha'Zix, and now, oh no, the Viego going to be taken down by MF as well, and that is just a disaster class for Strag. Don't Worry We Scale able to pick up 4 kills there. That was a huge double bind coming in from Petros on the Lux. Ashe flashed out after the fact, but flashed into the waiting arms of the Kha'Zix. So that looked to be a decent start of the fight there for Strag, but Don't Worry We Scale able to turn it around and again cement themselves back into the lead here. Okay, Now, curiously, they don't decide to take out this bot turret. I don't know about that one.
Shouldn't. Oh, actually, it doesn't. Yeah, interesting. They don't want to go yet. They want to bait the bot lane.
I guess so, yeah. Maybe trying to set up a potential dive scenario there. Blue buff going to be handed over to this Lux. Lux sitting on 4 stacks, by the way, on the Dark Seal. So we might see a potential Magi's game coming out for Peach Rose. I think thus far has been doing an excellent job, both in terms of harassing the Cassiopeia out of lane, and also just roaming as well. Some timely roams, really turning around the tide of the fight in top and bot lanes. Also have to keep an eye on here the teleports. 4 teleports now all available. Let's see if we get that 10-man party in one of the lanes yet again. But yeah, okay, now, if your team's Strag, you've seen something. Okay, here we go. Rammus can now powerball in on the Lux. And ow, wow. Gonna turn around the most crucial moment. Light Binding gonna land onto both Rammus and Cassiopeia. This Lux has been absolutely popping off. Going to mean that the attempted gank by Rammus is going to result in a net loss of HP for the aggressive team. Wow. Thank you to Furby Lol for the follow, by the way. I appreciate it. Rammus now going to try to gank bot lane, but nope. Powerball duration going to run out here. Oh, but here we go. Teleport here from the Cassiopeia. Going to find the MF first. The Petrifying Gaze not going to be able to slow down Cassiopeia, but will stun the Rel. But now we're going to get the teleport party. Going to be coming in. Camille going to be behind here. Rel going to be the first casualty, but Cassiopeia going to be picked up by Misfortune soon. Where is the Lux? Lux is here. Going to be a huge life binding. Going to try to zone out Rammus. Camille going to go down early, actually. And now it's going to be a potential reset by Viego. Here we go. Going to try to find his way onto Misfortune. Yep, they're going to pick that one up. Meanwhile, the backline here is Kha'Zix going to try to find the Ashe. We'll be able to get that. Reset City, but Viego now going to flash towards the Kha'Zix, has the ultimate reset, but no! Kha'Zix does have enough damage with a shield from the Eclipse as well to be able to pick that one up. Now going to be jumping towards the Zyra, but a very, very bloody teleport party in the bot lane once again. Deja vu, still going to result in the same relative outcome. Going to be a win for Don't Worry We Scale, but they did suffer 3 casualties on their side as well. Meanwhile, for Strag, Zyra going to be the only straggler living from that encounter. So, ladies and gentlemen, set your timers for 6 minutes because we're going to guaranteed get another 10-person team fight when those teleport cooldowns are available. Interestingly there, only 3 teleports were used. Lux was able to just walk her way over to the bot lane. So, still has that available. So, technically, Scale does have the teleport advantage here. Let's see if they decide to use that, or if we're just going to get another TP party. Now, if you're Camille here, you got to be really, really careful. You do have this tri-bush, but Rammus can speed right through it. Where is the Powerball going to come through? Oh, why aren't you just Powerballing through? It is what it is. Okay, so 4 members up here for Strag. Ashe going to be sent to farm out the lanes here. But let's take a look at some of these item choices. So Rammus does have the Turbo Chem Tank. Going to be racing through, trying to find a taunt onto one of either Lux or Misfortune. But Rel should be on hand to A, strip Rammus of his resist, and B, provide a good amount of peel. We saw in that bot lane fight just how hard it is to take down Rel. Took a lot of damage for going down to the Cassiopeia. Meanwhile, Viego going to go for the tried and true Kraken Slayer into Blade of the Ruined King build. Has a massive 2-item power spike. We saw him almost turn around the fight in favor of Strag with those resets, but the Kha'Zix there with the stronger reset potential.
Yeah, I don't know where Cassio's going. She has parts of 3 different items. It's going to take a long time for her to hit those.
Yep. Yeah. Walmart here, going to be the name of the game for Cassiopeia. Has a large rod, a stopwatch, and a tier. Okay, initial burst going to be... Oh my god. Kha'Zix now 10-1 and 3. Lux able to find a huge engagement. Now Kha'Zix going to be actually end up being soloed out here. Oh, a huge Locket going to buy just a little bit more time. Now Hextech Ultimate going to use on the golden Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia going to go fall down very, very shortly after. MF going to be able to pick that one up. And Viego not in the fight just yet is going to mean that this is going to end up being a 3-4-1 in favor of Don't Worry We Scale. The only casualty there being their jungler. But that was a decent shutdown handed over to Ashe. So hopefully he can get the Ashe back into this game. But a crucial Locket, I think, bought a little bit more time for the Kha'Zix to get one last a little bit amount of burst out. to pick up the, I want to say the Rammus. And that is a 23-minute Ocean Soul, ladies and gentlemen, in the hands of Don't Worry We Scale. So going to be scaling up very well throughout the rest of this game. But one of the dangers of picking up an early game soul or early soul is that Elder is a potential win condition very early on in the game. So if Strag here can find some good picks with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, with the Rammus, and translate that into an Elder Dragon, we might have our second comeback of the night, courtesy of the Breath of the Elder Dragon. Gordo Lee says, Petros is so fucking good at Lux, I'm actually simping. Jesus Christ, Gordo.
Keck.
Keck. Relax, buddy. Can we get the Craigasms in the chat? Okay. So while Camille distracts people bot, we see 3 members here of Don't Worry We Scale starting up on the Baron. This is a decent Baron. Obviously, Kha'Zix has the isolation damage. But with Lux now walking over, I think Viego is wise to it. Gonna try to buy some time here for the rest of his team to walk up here. This is not the fastest Baron of all time. Viego can't get in there and start disrupting stuff. But now Baron down to... Okay, Enchanted Crystal are gonna land onto Kha'Zix, but... Baron now down to about 1200, gonna be smited away. There it is. Let's see if the engage comes through. Rammus is here. Does have Turbo Chem Take to help get him into this. Ryle gonna be knocked up here, but now huge bullet time gonna be able to pick up Zyra here, and Viego gonna be taking to about half HP as well. Rel gonna be the answer here by Strag, but now gonna be Reset City for Kaz is gonna jump on Ash, gonna jump on Cassiopeia. Ram is gonna go down as well. So ends up being an ace in a 4v5 situation. The power of Ocean Soul, and meanwhile Camille just gonna be playing PvE in the bot lane, going to take down this bot tier 2. Scale, Don't Worry We Scale, blowing this game wide open with a really good Baron call there. Meanwhile, Strag was focused on the Camille split pushing and rotated too late.
I think every time I say a team has a better comp, they just lose.
The Chungus curse. Okay, Kazu sees
they're
careful
gonna
here.
they're gonna have to start giving me channel points to say they have a worse team comp.
True. I'll give you a little startup loan. Alright. Okay, so 2 tier 3 turrets taken here now by Don't Worry We Scale, but crucially for Strag, both inhibitors are still up. So not going to have waves of super minions crashing into their base just yet. If this is a conscious decision by Don't Worry We Scale, I like the decision to not force the inhibitors this early in the game, because an early inhibitor is going to mean that you deny yourself a lane of farm. So if they take down 2 inhibitors here, that's going to be 2 waves that they can't farm anymore. It's going to be 2 waves of farm steadily funneling in and giving the scaling champions of Cassiopeia, Ashe, and Zyra a chance to get back into this game. So, with both inhibitors exposed, they can now look for picks, and then once they feel confident, potentially with an Elder Dragon in their pocket, they can start pushing for the end here.
Yeah, they have double TPs. They can just stick to 3-1-1, I think, at this point. Force down the top 2 turrets, pick up some inhibs, and then play for Elder.
Yeah, indeed. As you mentioned, Chungus, teleports are up. So let's see if we get round 3 of the TP party. We've seen 10-man fights break out in the bot lane twice now, courtesy of the TPs. Meanwhile, it's Viego to find... Oh, actually, Viego almost able to 1v1 the Cosmos, but gonna go down eventually. Meanwhile, in this jungle here, Ashe able to go... gonna go down to Misfortune. Now it's gonna be... Oh my god. This is gonna be game, ladies and gentlemen. Kha'Zix, double kill, triple kill, jumping around. Kha'Zix Gaming, gonna be the theme of the night. Ace here for Don't Worry We Scale. Ocean Soul, Baron in the pocket. They're gonna march towards victory here. And GG, 31-11, going to be the final kill score. And now, both teams on 2 wins, still very much knocking on the playoff door. GG2, Don't Worry We Scale. Massive, massive plays coming out. Okay, so let's take a look here at some crucial fights in that game. First one, obviously, in the top lane, an early triple kill for Kha'Zix, really setting the tempo for this Kha'Zix to start snowballing out of control. Started off by Kha'Zix actually walking into Rammus here, but an imperfect CC chain is going to mean that Kha'Zix is going to be able to jump out towards the Camille. And it's just the Kha'Zix show from here on out. The isolation damage is going to do so much, and the Cassiopeia teleport going to be a little bit too late as Lux
Big
walks
ups.
in here.
Done.
What's up?
Oh no, sorry. Keep going.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that's what really got the ball rolling for Don't Worry We Scale. Meanwhile, let's turn our attention now to the first TP party. Around level 6 here, everybody with their ultimates available except for Cassiopeia. We see here Kha'Zix is going to come in for a gank. Gonna jump in here, and this is a really unfortunate bullet time by Misfortune, unable to pick up the Kha'Zix, or unable to pick up the Zyra, but Ashe gonna go down first, but Viego gonna be able to pick up Rel and really start looking for those resets. Good play by Kato here, but unfortunately gonna miss the ult on to Kha'Zix, who did flash out, going to mean that Viego ends up eating a full light binding and final spark combo to the face, and Camille with the delayed TP gonna be able to lock up the Cassiopeia. Let's take a look then at the next TP party. Again, we can see all teleports available. This time though, Lux going to be the only one to not use teleport because she is already in the area. Aggressive TP coming in from Cassiopeia. Unfortunately, the Petrifying Guys did not land onto Misfortune. Look at how tanky this Rel is. Going to stand up to so much damage from the Cassiopeia. Meanwhile, there's a Camille behind the ranks of Strag, which are causing Ashe and Zyra to turn around. Zyra going to try to stop the advance, able to pick up the Camille eventually. And we saw the makings of a potential turnaround as Viego starts getting some resets, able to pick up the Misfortune. But unfortunately, this Kha'Zix not going to be stopped here, able to pick up a reset onto Ashe, and now a reset onto Viego. At this point, 9, 1, and 3. And after that, the bug is buzzing. Going to be flying through the rest of these team fights. Next really big team fight here, going to be around the bot jungle. I don't really remember how this one started. Does Kha'Zix just end up jumping in? What's the deal here? Oh, light binding here, coming in over the wall, going to take Rammus to within execute range. Look at that, Kha'Zix even through the Rammus arm able to pick that one up. The Bramblethorn though, going to luckily knock Kha'Zix up. But the little bit of age is going to mean that Zyra goes down to one more claw coming in from Kha'Zix. Cassie, we're going to go down as well. Viego going to be the one left to tell the tale. But yeah, Kha'Zix Gaming, ladies and gentlemen, on full display tonight. Unfortunately, in the first game, the Kha'Zix, despite having a relatively good scoreline, was not able to pick up the win. But this time, no doubt about at the end of the day, I think it was a 16-2 and 6 Kha'Zix. 16-2 and 7 Kha'Zix, able to lead the way for Don't Worry We Scale to victory. Okay. So let's take a look here at the damage charts hopefully, and let's also hear from the victors of this game. Let's also, wow. Okay, so not a whole lot of points were put up here in this third and final game, but it was about 1-3 in favor of Strag, which means if you bet on Don't Worry We Scale, you just won yourself a good amount of channel points. So congratulations to Calvin and others for betting successfully on the victors here. Let's take a look here at the damage charts, which did load this time, thank God. So here we go. To no surprise here, Kha'Zix going to be the one leading the charge. Why did it shift? It did shift. Lux not too far behind. Meanwhile, a relatively even output coming out from the members of Strag, minus Rammus, who obviously his job isn't to push for damage. Wow. Okay. So I really want to hear from Kha'Zix, obviously. From Janice as well, I think soaked up a lot of pressure in that game. So let's hear from the pair of them. It's a long drag.
Oh.
Hello, I've kidnapped you, Janice. Don't worry, you will be accompanied by Zach very, very soon. Okay, so we are joined here on the interview desk by Kinuhata, aka Zach, aka the 16, 2, and 7 Kazakhs. Meanwhile, Janice on the Lux here, going to do a lot of work as well. Congratulations to the pair of you and to your team for a big win, keeping you guys in the playoff chase as we round into the second to final week of season 2. Okay, so my first question going to go to Zach on the Kazakhs. A huge triple kill to start off that game. What was going on in communications when the Rammus popped out of the bush and started to taunt you up there?
When I saw that, I was like, "Oh, I need help." But then I was like, "Oh wait, we win this." Like Camille just destroys their whole comp and the top side.
Yeah, we saw that. You were able to jump out towards the arms of Camille, and you guys ended up turning around that triple kill. Janice, I think, played a big part in that, matching the Cassiopeia teleport, able to get a couple of crucial shields onto you to make sure that you didn't die to the poison. But yeah, what made you decide to go with Kha'Zix this game? It's a champion we haven't seen you play throughout this entire tournament.
So my inspiration was Calvin. Like I saw him play that game, and I was just like, "Hey, if he can do this, I wonder what I can do on the champion."
Oh, okay, yeah. So, by the way, I think Calvin, is very appreciative of your performance. He was the biggest bettor on you guys. So, maybe you guys can have a Kha'Zix party afterwards. Meanwhile,
Hell yeah.
gonna turn our attention now to Peach Rose, who had an absolutely massive performance. First thing I want to bring to your attention, Janice, is you have a shrimp in Twitch chat. At one point, Gordo Lee said, Peach Rose is so fucking good at Lux, I'm actually simping. So what do you have to say to the new Lux simp in Twitch chat?
Well, thank you. I don't know if that's really deserved, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think it was. I think you had a couple of huge picks. You definitely had good trades against the Cassiopeia, and I think you also had you soaked up a lot of pressure as well. It seemed like they could just not stop coming mid, but yeah, all in all, a really, really strong performance on the Lux, reminding Strag that Seraphine is not the only option for you. So yeah, let's see.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have a new copy pasta coming out. Peach Rose is so
Oh,
fucking
God,
good at
please
Lux.
no.
I'm actually simping. Yeah. So where
no.
are the Peach Rose simps at? Show your support for this amazing, amazing Lux player. Is there anything you would like to say to your ever-growing fan base?
Well, thanks for the support, everybody, and please remember to cheer for the other members of my team too. They all did really well this game. It was a good game.
Yeah.
And GG to Strag.
GG to Strag, yes. So it's going to mean that both of your teams are sitting at 2 wins, knocking on the door here. Double jungle gap breathing down their necks. So going to be exciting to see if you guys can catch up and get into that playoff picture. As I look here, okay, we don't have any more games for you guys this week, but regardless, congratulations on the win. Congratulations on the newly acquired shrimps. And yeah, we're going to now turn our attention to tomorrow's. Oh shoot, you're right. Jesse reminded me. Kevin needs to give us his best ara.
Yeah.
Does somebody want to link?
Hold up.
Okay,
I got this.
Because I have no idea what.
Where's
I also have no
Kevin?
idea what it is. Do you want me to get him?
Wait, what? Wait, does no one? Okay.
No,
I know it.
I mean, I think everybody here does. I'm not a weeb.
Here we
so
go.
that's why.
Here we go. Wait, I'm not a weeb either, but I am a TikToker. So,
okay.
Here we go.
Oh God, Christ alive! I played 2 seconds of that and I already regret my life. Okay, all right. So, okay, let's make it happen. First, I'm gonna play what Kevin's gonna try to emulate here, and then we're gonna hear from Kevin himself. So let me drag Kevin in here. Where is Kevin? Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to play the whole clip. Just play the part where she says "ada ada."
Okay. All right, Kevin. It
Hi,
is time to
Kevin.
pay the
Hey.
piper. So what we're gonna do right now is first, okay, we're gonna show what you need to be doing. Okay.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to give us your best impersonation of this thing on my screen, and then
This thing.
we're gonna hear from you. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, I don't think I can hear it on the stream.
We can't
I
hear
don't
it on the
think I
stream.
hear it. I don't hear it on the stream.
What? Weird.
Yeah, it's not playing.
Uh.
Can we just
Okay, hold on.
It's not always about.
Can you hear it now?
About the ooh-woo. Sometimes it's about the I feel I can do the ara-ara, but I can't do the ooh thing very well. Anyways, it's not always about the ooh-woo. Sometimes it's about the ara-ara.
What the fuck? Oh my.
Okay, screw that. You know what I can do? Hey, yo, let me get an awa. I can't even do an awa anymore.
All right. Do you want a third example here, Kevin, or do you feel confident in your RR skills at this point? Okay. Let's do it. All right. Let hit us with it, Kevin. Let's do it. No sound from disc.
Stream.
Can't hear anything.
Okay, how about now? How about now?
How about now?
Test.
Is it?
Can you guys hear Kevin?
Oh, I think so.
Okay. All right, Kevin.
Yeah. Oh, are we good? We cool?
We're good.
Yeah,
We
we're
gooch
good.
out there? Okay. 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 Whew. What's the line? Can someone feed me? Line? Hold on.
It's not always about the ooh woo. Sometimes it's about the.
It's not. Sometimes it's not about the ooh. It's about the ara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. I got you. Here we go. Okay. Okay. I didn't get it out a little first. Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Clippers in the chat. Have your clips ready.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. Thanks, Nog. Okay, here we go. It's not about the ooh. It's about the ara.
This is what we live for right here. The post-game Kevin interviews. Always a treat, whether in victory or defeat. Thank you for that, Kevin. Thank you for to Petros for the suggestion on that bet. That was great, Kevin. I think you have a career in TikTok.
Thank you.
This whole
Millennial gang
doesn't end up working out. But, yeah.
Thank you, Roger. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course. As always, if you like what you hear, what you see from Kevin, I'm going to plug his Twitch channel at twitch.tv/kvntn. be sure to go to his stream, drop a follow, drop a sub. I know I have. Some quality entertainment coming out from Kevin always. So yeah, okay. With that, we're gonna start to bring this night's stream to a close. But before we do that, gonna look forward to tomorrow's triple header. So just have so much action coming at you guys. Tomorrow we are gonna be live at 7 p.m. yet again, 7 p.m. PST. First game is going to be between Chili's Angels and this man and his team, Strag. 8 p.m. it will be Double Jungle Gap versus Support Diff. And at 9 p.m. we will see Strag face off against Andy Lane and look to complete the 2-0 over the league leaders. So don't miss a single minute of the action, ladies and gentlemen. As you saw tonight, we got some bangers coming at you. So you don't want to miss this high quality League of Legends gameplay. With that, I'm going to bid good night to Twitch chat. And we will see you guys again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Good night, Twitch chat.
Bye.
Bye.